Good afternoon from Open Space Park in Sioux Center as we get set for Great Plains Athletic Conference football. The Dordt Defenders taking on the Midland Warriors in GPAC action as we head into the final 4 weeks of the regular season. The Dordt Defenders stand unbeaten in the league while the Midland Warriors come in with 2 losses in conference play. Stumbling against Morningside and Doane in back-to-back weeks, but coming back with an overtime win over Concordia and then shutting out Briarcliff last week, 49-0. Shapes up to be a great game with conference race ramifications. The race has changed over the last week or so, with Morningside taking their first loss of the year to Northwestern in Orange City. So a lot to cover as we get into another week of Dordt University football, second straight week here at Open Space Park. Let's take a 2-minute break, and when we're back, we'll be visiting with Coach Jeff Jamrog. He's the head coach of the Midland Warriors. We'll be back talking to him in 2 minutes.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
can I join Defender Forever? It's easy. Go to dordt.edu/forever and sign up. You'll not only stay connected with the Dordt community, but also support the future of Defender Nation. Start Forever now. Once you sign up, you will receive exclusive perks, brand new gear, event access, and the latest Dordt news. Be part of something special. Be part of Defender Forever.
Find a project that applies to your local context, that helps you as a teacher in your classroom, and do a deep dive on it. Like, we're always trying to be like, what does this have to do with the place in which you serve?
As we get into our pregame show, we start off by visiting with the Midland University head football coach, Jeff Jamrog, and the Midland Warriors. Coach, you've had stretches where your team has played exceptionally well, it appears. There are stretches where you'd probably like to have some outcomes back. How do you sum up this season now as you head into the last third or so of the
Tell me when.
It's not the kind of football that we want to play around here.
Can you hear me? Ready? Okay, here we go. Mic check, test 1, 2. Mic check, test 1.
Football as we played, and came away with a big win there, and then last week played pretty well against Briarcliff, and hopefully get in a little rhythm here. Obviously, we got a tall task going against Dordt as a heck of a football team, but hopefully this last part of the season will go well for the Midland Warriors.
When is your team at its best? Have you been able to put your finger on when this team plays its best?
Well, it executes what we called, when we're there mentally and focused and. Whatever phase it is, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, when we execute the call and that, we've had pretty good success when guys get out of their element and try to do too much or, not play fearless. We made some mistakes that have cost us.
I see the 3 receivers that have 20 or more catches, and they're all averaging more than 15 yards per catch. Is this a big play offense? Are you a grinded-out team? What are you?
Well, it depends. I mean, sometimes we've had some long series, and other times we've hit some big plays. But yeah, we think we have a talented wide receiver group that can stretch the field, and a couple times, some short passes have become big passes, making some people miss tackles. And Brody Johnson the last couple of weeks has done a really nice job at quarterback.
Tell me about this matchup with Dordt University. It seems you've had some great games over the last 5-6 years with Dordt. What makes this rivalry so competitive?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously Coach Penner's done a great job and there at Dordt, and yeah, we've had some great ones, some memorable ones. Seems like the home team the last number of years have come out victorious, but we've had some wild ones, and hopefully it can be a heck of a game on Saturday.
What concerns you about Saturday, or I should say, what do you focus on as you prepare for Saturday?
Yeah, they're really good at all. I mean, you don't be undefeated in 7th in the country without playing really good football on offense, defense, special teams. So, they got an explosive offense. They can run it. They can throw it. Their defense, giving up a little over 7 points a game, and really solid on special teams. So we got our work cut out. We know that, and we just got to execute. And if we do, hopefully it's going to be a heck of a game and come down to the fourth quarter like it seems like it has a lot of those years.
That's Coach Jeff Jamrog on our pregame show. Back with more right after this.
Welcome to Sioux Center, Iowa. Life in the center of everything. Where we connect with friends, coworkers, family, and the great outdoors, knowing that in Sioux Center, you're never far from making the next great memory. And we grow great companies that make cutting-edge breakthroughs to make life better here and around the world. And when it's time to play, we keep friendship, family, and a bright future at the center of everything.
Hey Defender Nation, my name is Darren Kaiser and I'm excited to serve as the new athletic director at Dordt University. Thank you for tuning in to the Dordt Media Network and supporting Defender Athletics. As an athletic department, we are committed to the Defender way. This means we are committed to the Great Commission, developing servant leaders, the academic development of our student athletes, and the pursuit of championships. I'm eager to join with you in supporting our athletes this year. Thank you for watching Defender Athletics on the Dordt Media Network. Go Defenders!
To Piper. Piper up the middle. Piper still on his feet. Touchdown Defender. Cade Roller to the goal line. Touchdown Defenders.
Homegrown. Community. Family.
Innovators.
Growth.
Faith.
Legacy.
We are dedicated to egg.
This is a Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast.
We have spoken with Coach Jeff Jamrog from Midland, and we are going to now check in with Dordt football coach Joel Penner as the Dordt Defenders coming off a win last week over the Mount Marty Lancers. And Coach, as you look back on last week and prepare for this coming week, I guess tell me about where your team is at. 33-13 win over the Mount Marty Lancers last week. Happy with how your team played? What's your assessment of last week?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with how our guys have accepted the competitive challenge that presents them each week. You know, a football season is a long and arduous affair that we go through, and you're going to get weeks where you're full strength and everyone's feeling great, and then you're going to have weeks where you're banged up and you got starters out. Last week was certainly one of those, and we were facing a really confident team and a team that I thought will end the season with a winning record again. I just really pleased with how our guys just kind of accept whatever's in front of them. You know, that's been something I think they've been terrific at, whether we're down 17 in North City, whether we're trying to fight through a long bye week, weather stuff, injuries. Even Mount Marty came out and scored at an 8-minute drive and kind of took it to us, and then I don't think they scored again until later.
Quarter when it was more or less decided.
Right, and so I was pleased with just how we were in the moment and how we responded to what we needed to.
What did, when you're done with a game like that and you assess things, do you get into depth with Brandon McCormick in terms of, okay, what did you change on defense? Do you debrief and talk about that?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, our first thing we do on Monday morning as a staff is every coach will go around and we're doing the exact same thing we ask our players to do, which is assess two things from the game. Number one, what are you most proud of in your body of work? What did you do to contribute to the success of the team? What are you most proud of? And let's celebrate that. And then the second thing is what's your do-over? What's your fix-it? What would you like to see improvement in? I just think the coaching staff has to have a mindset of growth mindset before we can ask the players to. And our coaches are awesome at just being able to not take themselves too seriously. You got to look at an opening drive and you got to say, that was not something that we did a great job prepping our guys for, but I'm really proud of how we reacted and adjusted. And one of the keys, Mike, is that when the defense comes off the field, our offense needs to provide time for the defense. Mm-hmm. We have the iPads now. It's such an advantage. You can watch the film and you can figure out, and then you have to adjust. And our defensive coaches have done, I think, a masterful job this year of adjusting.
Midland comes in, and a team that has been a mystery to me. And they have some great wins, come from behind win over Concordia, a wild win, a loss to Doane, a loss to Morningside that was significant, but they scored a lot of points. Who is this Midland team as you take a look at it and prepare for them?
Well, your assessment is similar to mine. You know, tactically you have to consider the strengths of your opponent. You also need to consider their weaknesses. This one's a little bit difficult, right? Because I think inconsistency is fair to say. You know, I think really, really good, really streaky, really dangerous would be an accurate assessment, but then also somewhat mistake-ridden sometimes. And so I think it's the quarterback. It starts with him. If he's hot, it's really, really good. And if he's not, it's not good. And so, like any week, we talk all the time. It's doing your best on defense to make the quarterback just not feel great, not feel comfortable back there, and how to disrupt him. There's different ways to do that, and you have to pick your battles sometimes. But I think they're very solid on defense, very dangerous, score a lot of points on offense, super disciplined on special teams, all around maybe the best team we've played yet this year.
You talk about their offense. Are they an explosive team, or they grind on you, or yes?
Well, I mean, they've done both over the season. They've been able to put together methodical drives. They're a pass-first team. Their run game is competent, but it's not statistically, wow at all. I think we start every week saying, no matter how much they want to do it, we have to stop the run. If you can force a team to be one-dimensional, then it's a whole different game when you're defending an offense. And so what they do really well is find wide receivers, multiple wide receivers, who have a lot of great statistics. They don't have a feature guy. They've got 3 feature guys. And they're all dangerous. They're all fast. And their quarterback is really sharing the wealth. And so it makes it tough to focus on one area of defense. You have to really just be solid everywhere.
Meaningful football in October again. And I don't want to say we've taken that for granted, but it is a good feeling to be playing meaningful games in October. And I would imagine the coaching staff relishes this.
For sure. And I think the key for us is we just have to remember that being present, being in the moment, one at a time. I had a really nice talk with Bill Harmson this week. You talk about a guy who's walked the road ahead of me, defending a national championship. And when they make those playoff runs in the national tournament, you just have to be really present. And I think that's been our focus this season. Each week, whatever competitive challenge is coming our way, there's no looking past. There's no looking, what's around the corner. It is all about the competitive challenge of today. And so that's how we've approached it.
It's Joel Penner. We'll be back with more on our pregame show right after this.
Hey Defender Nation, did you know that Dordt Athletics has over 700 student athletes that make up less than 50% of the student body? We want to invite you to join the Defender Gold Club and support those student athletes, our staff, and coaches this season. Your charitable donation helps advance Defender Athletics and the Defender Way. Last year, we were just shy of 900 members in the Defender Gold Club. Help us reach that 1,000 member mark this year. By becoming a member, you will directly support the student athletes and coaches here at Dordt University. Thanks for watching. Go Defenders.
You can hear me? You can hear me? Down? How about there? Okay. And I always talk a little louder once the game gets going too, so. Well, we have talked with Coach Joel Penner and Coach Jeff Jamrod, and now we get into our pregame show where we visit with Kyle Achterhoff and set the table for today's contest as we await the arrival of the Dordt Defenders, and there they are, and the Dordt Defenders and Midland Warriors playing meaningful football here in October. Conference race. This will have a significant impact on the conference race. And Kyle, like, as a competitor, as a coach, as a player, this is really what you want. You're into the final 4 weeks of the year, and there's still a lot to be decided.
Exactly. Yeah, it's what every coach hopes for throughout the season. And as they prepare to get a season started, you want to be in that hunt late in the year. And yeah, both of these teams, obviously with our Defenders being undefeated, feeling right in it right now. But this Midland team, you know, they had 2 back-to-back losses and thought the season was maybe going south, but they've turned it around and they've gotten hot, and they're a very, very good football team at times, and yeah, scary.
They were about a quarter and a half away from, you know, that's it, we're going to plan for next year. And then midway through the third quarter against Concordia, trailing 38-7. They got it back to 38-28 by the end of the third period. Concordia had an injury. Everybody does this time of year. And they came back and won that in overtime, and then a dominating performance last week against Bar Cliff, 49-0. This is a very capable and dangerous Midland team.
They are. Coach Jamrog, he's been known to, you know, recruit really good athletes, and they have especially a group of receivers that are really, really solid. And it does seem like, you know, this is a Midland team that likes to circle the Dordt Defenders on their schedule as a kind of it's their measuring stick, to be honest. Yeah, they probably haven't gotten real close with Northwestern and Morningside lately, but they've always seemed to play Dordt really, really tough, and sometimes it's just a matchup thing too. The style of offenses and defenses, sometimes teams just match up well, and Midland is a very capable football team.
Hold that thought. We'll talk more about the matchup and the series between these two teams. Let's take a 2-minute break. We'll step aside. We'll be back to wrap up the Wireless World pregame show and get set for kickoff right after this 2-minute timeout.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by RA Rentals. Looking for top-notch rental equipment for the next project? Look no further than RA Rentals, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. RA Rentals, your regional equipment rental experts.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
How can I join Defender Forever? It's easy. Go to dordt.edu/forever and sign up. You'll not only stay connected with the Dordt community, but also support the future of Defender Nation. Start Forever now. Once you sign up, you will receive exclusive perks, brand new gear, event access, and the latest Dordt news. Be part of something special. Be part of Defender Forever.
Find a project that applies to your local context, that helps you as a teacher in your class.
Back at Open Space Park, we have yet to have the coin toss, so we are just a little bit away, a little ways away yet from the start of today's contest. And Kyle, I say this knowing full well where this game is being played today. Sioux Center, the home team has not had the advantage in the last 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, it's been kind of an odd series, really. The visiting team has come out on top.
Seven straight, I believe.
And I think, Coach Penner did mention to me that his coached defenders haven't won here at home against Midland since he's been here.
Yeah, he said Jeff Jamrog has never lost in Sioux Center.
Yeah, so that's just one of those added little tidbits to this game that could make things really interesting.
We have seen games come down to the wire, last drives. We have seen comebacks. We have seen a couple of games decided by more than one possession, last year being that case where the defenders really got up early. I believe it was 17-7 at halftime, stretched it to something like 31-7, and then Midland got a late touchdown or two, and I don't have the details right in front of me, but last year was an anomaly. Up to that point, it's back and forth and really tight games throughout.
Yeah, and when you get into a tight football game like the one we had with Midland a couple of years ago here, where they end up winning on a 2-point conversion, it can come down to that, right? A deciding kick, a deciding last play. I'm hopeful that it doesn't today. My heart can't take those kind of games, but it should be a fun ball game to watch.
The question on a lot of people's minds, they're asking, okay, Noah Strickfaden started the first 4 games, and then Colson Cruz started last week. It appears, for all intents and purposes, Colson Cruz will go today, not because Noah hasn't been cleared. He has been. He is in uniform. He has warmed up. He just hasn't probably gotten the reps this week, and you've got to prepare early in the week for Saturday, and once you make some of those preparations, you're probably going to ride with the guy you're preparing with.
Well, absolutely. Especially in a quarterback battle like what Dordt has, right? Colson's really experienced
yep.
back, returning starter. He's winningest quarterback in Dordt history. Starting ball games. When you have somebody like that, and it's close enough where, Noah will need to have a lot of practices under his belt to feel totally comfortable and feel good about putting him in a football game.
So we are set to kick off. Dordt deferred to the second half. Midland will take the football first, and Stephen Leinen approaches, kicks it into the wind, and it is taken at the goal line. No, lets it go over his head. The return man looked like he might think about bringing it out, and then lets it fly over his head into the end zone, and Midland will start first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And the breeze looks to me like it's out of the north-northwest, and might be actually swinging around a little bit. So we will see how the wind factors in, and that might be the worst kind of wind, the wind that you don't know which direction it's really going.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit swirling, not real strong. I think the way Midland has been able to throw the ball, and Johnson at quarterback, he has a type of arm where this isn't going to affect passing game a whole
Brody
lot.
Johnson on the on cue, passes out into the flat, and right there to make the stop is Cole Johnson for the defenders. No gain on the play, on the completion, and it will be second down and long for the Midland Warriors, and the Dordt defenders right on that play for no gain.
Yeah, and you even see it on that play. The thing that Coach Penner talked to me about this week with the defender defense is just how well they're running to the football. They get a lot of jerseys around the ball, really good pursuit, and even on that play, not that the receiver had much room to work with anyhow, but we had a lot of black jerseys around the ball.
Brody Johnson back to pass under pressure, and he goes down. Nolan Buckholtz is there, also providing pressure. I believe it was Jamin Stewart, and the Dordt defenders wanted pressure on the quarterback, and they bring pressure, and that's a loss of 9 on the play.
Yeah, and huge play, and something that this defense needs today. We need to put pressure on Johnson. Coach Penner talked about it. he throws the ball really, really well, and if he's comfortable in the pocket, he can be really dangerous.
Line to gain is the 35-yard line. Johnson in the pistol. Back to pass. He's going to look right now, looks back over the middle, and a screen pass, and right there, and the Dordt defenders have it snipped out. Ethan Mills on the tackle on the screen pass, and nothing doing that time for Midland, trying to get Tyson Dankert out of the backfield, and it's going to set up 4th down and long, and Midland will be punting. So a great start for the Dordt defenders defensively.
Yeah, a little different than a week ago, right, where the defense gave up a long drive to start the game. After that, played really well, and they're starting this game kind of how they finished the last one.
Gavin Rowell is punting. He averages 39.1 yards per punt, rugby-style kick, and it'll be taken by Velverty. Velverty at his own 49-yard line. He's to the 50, tries to get to the corner, 48-yard line, and it'll be 1st down and 10 for the defender offense in Midland territory at the 49-yard line. And Velverty that time thought maybe it got over his head. He makes the catch, saves the defenders probably about 20 yards on field position, and Dordt with good field position to start this afternoon's first offensive series.
Yeah, and you've heard me say it before, Mike, but when you have a guy like Velverty back deep, just a solid punt returner, number one, field that thing, because that can save you a lot of yards, and it did on that play.
Colson Cruz in at quarterback as we expected. Preston McCoy is the running back. We'll talk a little bit about the running back position in a little bit. They hand it off to Preston McCoy. McCoy, the ball carrier. McCoy picks up 4 yards on the play, 5 yards before it's 2nd down and 5. We've talked about the depth of the running backs. Anyone who has listened to us knows that we really like the depth, but we are missing some people today.
We are.
Brendan Piper will not play.
Right. Piper's out for the week, but McCoy has just been a workhorse. You know, throughout his career, when he's had his opportunities, he's played well. So I feel really good about our running back situation, even when we're a little beat up.
The pass is completed to Rhett Williams, and Rhett Williams has turned into the safety blanket. Really comfortable as he boxes out his player, gets down to the 30-yard line. The completion from Colson Cruz, and a confidence-building pass, if nothing else.
Exactly. You know, we've talked about Johnson from the other side of the field at quarterback, and when you get a guy off to a good start, you know, make that first pass an easy one, and we did right there, but you still have to make the play, and Colson put it right on the money.
1st down and 10 at the 31-yard line. Fake the handoff. Pitch comes left side McCoy. McCoy gathers it in 25-20 and stumbles out of bounds at the 24-yard line. And right now the defenders, Coach Joel Penner talked about it in the pregame off mic. He said, I want to just come out and pound. Early on, I just want to establish and pound, and so far, 3 plays, they've done that.
Yeah, it set the tone, right? Let this Midland defense know we're coming after you, and just let them feel the physical presence of the 5 guys up front especially.
2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard pickup on the play for McCoy on the pitch. They turn, they fake the handoff, they give it to McCoy. McCoy, the ball carrier, picks up positive yardage, maybe a yard. It's going to be 3rd down in relatively short yardage, and I would imagine the defenders in 4-down territory here. It's going to be 3rd down and 3, and we'll see if the defenders have to get that far. Jake Van Dong runs onto the field, extra receiver, replacing Ethan Snyder. And so the defenders will go with Van Dong to the far side, Rhett Williams to the near side, Isaac Looker also lining up to the near side. Also not in uniform today, Elliott Beal. So the defenders, like last week, without some of their primary offensive weapons. Colson Cruz, 3rd down and 3. Williams in motion. Cruz fakes the pitch, still has it, and it's going to be close to a 1st down. Depends on the mark of the football, and they're going to mark him short of the 1st down by at least a yard. It's going to be 4th down and short for the defenders, and it will be at the 23-yard line. So Midland answering the challenge early on, forcing a 4th down play here. It will be 4th and 2 for the defenders heading north. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field. Split the backfield, McCoy and Fritz. You've got Cruz at quarterback, Williams and Looker to the near side. Dordt looks to the sideline, 14 to get the play off. Midland now making defensive adjustments as well. They're loading up the box. They've got 8 players within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Colson Cruz turns, hands it off. This is McCoy, and McCoy picks up a 1st down. And that's where you just line up, run in between the tackles, no flags on the play, and you get the 3 yards you need.
Yeah, great job by the offensive line is getting a nice push on that play and earning that 1st down. This this is a Midland defense that will move guys around up front. They like to slant. They like to do some looping, just kind of create some chaos in the run game, and they're pretty solid against the run. They've been known to maybe give up some big run plays because they get seamed at times, so hopefully we see some of those today.
First down and 10 for the defenders at the 21-yard line. Handed off Fritz. Fritz in between the tackles, and he picks up 3 yards on the play. I've talked about the left side of the offensive line, Ethan Hoyer and Ethan Hansen, but the right side of the line not too shabby, and Garrett Divis and Evan Backen. And the anchor is Joel Akers, and it seems like Joel finally getting healthy after getting banged up about a month ago. It's been a long road back for him to get completely healthy.
Yeah, it takes time because those guys just get beat on every week, right? You have guys around your knees, falling on the back of your legs. There's just a lot that can happen with guys up front. So, but we've had other guys step up when we've had people beat up front.
Second down and 7. Vendong is in motion. They pass it to Vendong. Vendong returns. He's upfield and inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. And depending on the spot of the football, that should be a Dordt University first down. They sent Vendong in motion, got it to him, and he turns upfield, makes a 7-yard pickup out of the play. First down and 10 for the defenders. It'll be first down and goal to go. They mark it right at the 10-yard line. So Dordt, with 8:13 left to go in the first quarter, threatening after getting a 3 and out and trying to pound that first possession in. Preston McCoy in the backfield. He is stationed behind Colson Cruz. Cruz takes the snap. He's going to run option to the right. Has a seam, turns, and is spun around. Maybe picks up 3 yards on the play. It's going to be second down and goal to go from the 7. Well, for the defenders now, you're well within Stephen Linen's range, but you're thinking about 7 rather than 3.
Yeah,
but you want points.
You need to get points here on the first drive just to set the tone a little bit. Yeah, and it's great having that luxury of Linen and having the confidence in here. But you're right, Mike. A 7-0 lead would be really nice.
They hand it off Fritz. Fritz trying to get to the edge. Turns the corner. He has a chance to the pylon. Looking for the signal. Touchdown defenders. A 7-yard touchdown run by Tommy Fritz. And Tommy Fritz, it looked like maybe he didn't have the angle. Turns on the jets, gets to the corner, and wins the race to the pylon.
Yeah, speed is a nice luxury to have, especially out of the backfield. And Midland really closed up the inside run, but Fritz being able to get outside with it, using his speed. And once he's there, and we've seen it throughout, he's going to finish the play in the end zone.
7:15 left to go in the first quarter. Dordt on the board first. Stephen Linen on to attempt the point after. Snap is down, kick is up, and he lines that one straight through. Hits the scoreboard for good measure, and the Dordt defenders have a 7-0 lead. 7-0 our score. Dordt will be back with the kickoff right after this 1-minute timeout.
Hi, this is Alex with Outdoor Elements. We've been the region's premier landscape company for over 15 years. With our own in-house landscape designer, we create extraordinary outdoor spaces where you will make memories with family and friends. We do all types of landscaping, and we're the region's only certified pool professionals. We specialize in saltwater pools, which are easy to maintain and gentle on your skin. Check out our website at OutdoorElementsInc.com. We make your landscape as beautiful as your home. When you want the best, contact us at 712-476-5299 or email us at info@OutdoorElementsInc.com.
NewTek is your partner for success when purchasing equipment for construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and other industries. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your business and redefine your productivity standards with NewTek.
And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
And the kick is through the end zone, and I'm told that we are just a little bit warm with our commentary, so we'll tone that down just a little bit, and we'll adjust your headphones a little bit, Kyle, so hopefully you can hear okay. And I'll wait for the thumbs up from my intrepid reporters to tell me if we sound a little bit better. First down and 10. Part of it is we sound kind of how we sound. Hand off to Dankert. Dankert tries to bounce outside, and Dankert a short gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. A short gain on the play, and Midland, a team that doesn't rely a great deal on the run, but they do need to do it just enough to stay honest.
Yeah, a team that's averaging right around 100 yards, a little over 100 yards a game rushing. It's not what they lean on, but every offense has to be capable running if you want to have success throwing the ball.
2nd down and 7. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson pressured. Stewart putting pressure on. Throw it to the sideline and incomplete. And good coverage downfield and a little bit of pressure forcing Brody Johnson to look and move out of the pocket. And that was not a good recipe for Midland on that play.
Yeah, I think he's a little better passer when he is able to set his feet and feels comfortable in the pocket. So if you can collapse that, you can get a little bit of pressure on him. I think that affects his accuracy a little bit. But you mentioned it there, Mike. Great coverage in the secondary.
3rd down and 7. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson steps up in the pocket, throws it underneath to Covington. Covington might get the 1st down, and he does. He's pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So the Midland Warriors needed something good to happen, and that time a 12-yard pickup on the play to T.J. Covington, a short catch. He has 27 catches coming into the ball game, right around that 13, 14 yards per catch average. One of 4 really dangerous receivers for the Midland Warriors, and they get their first down of the day.
Yeah, and you heard the coaches talk about it. They like that group, that wide receiver group. A lot of really capable receivers that can run after the catch as well.
Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson steps up in the pocket, dumps it off underneath to Dankert. Dankert, the ball carrier, and Dankert picks up 12 yards on the play. Now they stand him up. Dordt trying to swipe at the football, but Midland has it now in Dordt territory at the 45-yard line. And that is something that Mount Marty did last week as well. They found that spot underneath, and Dordt made some adjustments later on. Looks like they might have to adjust to that as well by Midland here in this game.
Yeah, and coaches watch film, right? And Midland saw what Mount Marty had success with, those underneath routes and yards after the catch. And that's what Midland has done on those 2 completions.
1st down and 10. They hand it off to Dankert. Dankert, a short gain on the play. It's 2nd down, and beg your pardon, that is Colin Vigil. Vigil with the 3-yard pickup on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. So Midland staying on schedule now after converting on that 3rd down and 7 situation. And they are on schedule indoor territory at the 42-yard line. They need the 35 for a 1st down.
Well, this is a Midland offense that is very capable, and they're going to pick up 1st downs. You just want to limit that and not allow them to finish long drives.
Dordt sending pressure, pass underneath, and the pass is complete, but short of the 1st down marker is Kevin Adams. Adams, pretty good coverage that time by David Bowman, and it's going to be 3rd down and 3 at the Dordt 38-yard line. Midland in all likelihood 4-down territory here. They're in no man's land, so unless you have a big loss here, they're going to have 2 cracks at it on this set of downs. 3rd down and 3. The defenders, Derek Pop lining up, defensive tackle. Where's Queering? I think he's to the far side of the field. Back to pass to Johnson. Johnson, Dordt brings pressure. They dump it off underneath Dankert. Dankert, the ball carrier, picks up a 1st down, and Midland extends the drive. And so Midland right now content to take what is there. And it will be another 1st down for the Midland Warriors on the short pass to Tyson Dankert. He had, coming into the game, 23 catches, 8.7 yards per catch. Not a big play threat, but I'm imagining a lot of them just like that.
Yeah, those are your 1st down conversion type plays, right? You just get enough to pick up a 1st down, give your offense another set of downs.
1st down and 10 at the 34-yard line. Midland with it. Midland back to pass is Johnson. Johnson looking right. Johnson dumps it off to Dankert. Dankert underneath, and Dankert down to the 25-yard line and forced out of bounds. Coming over to make the play is Cole Johnson to prevent him from going further, but he's thrown out of bounds at the 21-yard line, and another 1st down for Midland. So 1st down and 10 for Midland at the 21-yard line. Dordt leading 7-0. 3:15 left to play here in the 1st quarter. Dordt leading 7-0, but Midland threatening in Dordt territory at the 21-yard line. Let's see if the defenders can force a turnover here. So Brody Johnson. Johnson has Dankert on his left, sends a man in motion. That's the tight end. Hand off to Dankert. Dankert, the ball carrier, and Dankert Picks up 4 yards on the play down to the Dordt 17-yard line, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 6, and that's exactly where Midland wants it. They're not forced in. You've got to play them straight up, and that appears to be when they are most dangerous.
Yeah, we saw it on that first series where they started slow, and it was because they didn't get positive yards on first down. So far this series, they're at least putting themselves in a second and medium type of situation, and that's what every offense wants to be.
Kevin Adams is far side of the field. Tay Marks is to the near side of the field. They hand it off to Dankert. Dankert, and shooting the gap that time was Bowman. Bowman, no gain on the play. Maybe gave him a yard down to the 16-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4. They need the 12-yard line for a first down. So David Bowman that time coming in and filling the gap. Now he's going to give way to Josh Henderson. Dordt with a defensive switch in terms of their packaging. Lining up in the slot over here will be T.J. Covington to the near side. They're going to go empty backfield. 5 receivers for Brody Johnson. Johnson not known for his running. Let's see if it's a designed quarterback run, and he's flush from the pocket. He's got a chance to run for it. He's got the first down. He's inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line, and a first down for the defenders, and everybody went deep. He went to the spot that was vacated and easily picks up the first down. It's 1st and goal now for Midland at the 9-yard line.
Well, and that's the danger when offenses go empty backfield. Then it becomes a numbers games at times. And if you're not solid in your rush lanes, and if you give even a quarterback like Johnson, he doesn't run a lot, but when he does, he's effective, and he was able to pick up that first down.
First down goal to go at the 7. They hand it off to Dankert. Dankert, nothing there, and he's stuffed. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go, this time from the 8-yard line. So a loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go at the 8. Under a minute left to go in a fast-moving first quarter of play. So Midland, 2nd down now and goal to go. Field gets compacted down here now. See if the defenders can force a field goal. Got to get a couple of stops here. Midland content to go to Dankert the last couple of times. See if they stay on the ground.
Yeah, and Dordt has to be really conscious of him out of the backfield. And there they throw it to him and get inside the 3. That's where he's been dangerous so far.
So far it's been Tyson Dankert. He hasn't been doing it out of the backfield necessarily on the ground game, but the short passing game now setting up 3rd down and goal to go. And the football at the 1-yard line, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter. 7-0 Dordt leading, but Midland is threatening. It'll be 3rd down and goal to go at the 1 when we're back right after this. You're listening to Dordt Football on KIHK and watching the Dordt Media Network. Back with more in a minute.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Eric Rankin, a proud sponsor of Dordt University Defender Athletics. For all your investment needs, call 712-722-0618 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, SPIC. Members Cut, more than meat, where strong values, great food, and hometown spirit comes together. Stop in and taste the difference community makes. Located just south of Scooters on Highway 75.
This is a Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast.
7-0 our score. Midland threatening, though, with the football right at the doorstep. And we'll see if the Dordt defenders can make a play and force a 4th down decision for Midland. Midland facing 3rd down and goal to go. Johnson is the quarterback. With him in the backfield, Tyson Dankert. Dankert has done much of the damage for Midland on this drive. And it's 3rd down, goal to go. Man in motion, left to right, high snap, busted play, and Dankert stood up at the goal line, and he is stopped short of the goal line. It'll be 4th down and goal to go. That all set up, and it's something that we take for granted, the quarterback snap, the exchange. And it's going to be 4th down and decision time for Midland.
Well, and honestly, that's the difference between us holding them and them scoring on that play. That little bit of timing mix-up in the backfield because of the snap. And, yeah, now we're third and less than a foot probably?
Fourth
and less than a foot.
Yeah,
that's right.
Fourth down, Brody Johnson, quarterback. They hand it off, and nothing there, and he's stuffed. The Dordt defenders come through, breaking through. That's Zach Queering, and Zach has put together a tremendous year, and he's the first person there for the defenders. And Dordt on fourth down and goal to go. The defense gets the stop.
Yeah, great penetration. You got to roll the dice a little bit down there when a team is that close. That's probably the disadvantage of an offense being in shotgun is, the ball is snapped 4 yards back. And, and if you get a little penetration like we did on that play, that was a huge stop.
I'm going to circle back to that, and I'm going to go way back to the first years when John Heavner was coaching, and I said, why don't you ever quarterback sneak in those situations? He said, we never practice it. We don't have to. We have committed to this, and that's kind of where you're at. They hand it off. This is Connor Dodd. Dodd, a short gain on the play, picks up 3.
Yeah, and you bring that up, being under center. You see some programs, and, even this morning I was watching a little bit of the Nebraska Cornhusker games, and they got into those really short yardage situation, and you have somebody totally different taking the ball out of from under center. Ryle is their quarterback, but he stayed deep and lined him up at running back, and they get another player in there who's used to taking center snaps, and you just have one go-to guy that can probably do that. It's effective.
Tommy Fritz up the left sideline, picked up a first down up the sideline, and he is pushed out of bounds. Where did he step out? They're going to say at the 20-yard line, and that's a first down for the defenders.
Huge play, Mike. You got to get out from underneath the end zone, being backed up there, and Fritz bouncing that outside, getting down the sideline. We've seen that a ton, right? Even the touchdown play where we bounced it outside. Using that speed to get to the edge and pick up the first down.
First down and 10 for the defenders at their own 20-yard line. 13-15 left to go in the first quarter. Colson Cruz turns, hands, gives it to Connor Dodd. Dodd back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And he gets tripped up and shoestring tackle. It'll be second down and long for the defenders. So the defenders, this set of downs not on schedule as Connor Dodd gets tripped up. Dordt leading 7-0. Second down and 9. Dordt getting a goal line stand to maintain a 7-0 lead. Now it becomes a battle of field position. If nothing else, you want to at least get away from your own end zone. Back to passes Cruz. Cruz steps up in the pocket, scrambles, and throws it to Rhett Williams. And Williams comes back to the ball, comes back to about the 27-yard line. If he waits for it, it's either incomplete or it's picked off.
Exactly. Yeah, great job, and that's what you teach your receivers is keep coming to the ball, and it doesn't happen every time, right? And you mentioned that's when interceptions happen or incompletions. Great job of coming back to the ball. They're thinking sticks, right? We want to pick up a first down, but bottom line is you need positive yards. We need to put ourselves in a manageable third down, and here we are with third and 2, third and 3 type of third down situation, much more manageable.
And Colson Cruz delivered that pass with someone wrapped around his legs, and he was still able to get enough on it to set up third down and 2. Now an overthrown pass intended for Looker, and Dort's going to have to punt it away from their own 27-yard line. So a missed opportunity maybe on that third down play. Looked like Looker might have had a step, but overthrown, and it'll be fourth down. And now the defenders will be sending Ivan Roscoe on to punt.
Yeah, just enough pressure in Cruz's face where he couldn't follow through. And if a quarterback can't follow through with their throwing motion, that's quite often when it's overshot. And, that's what we had on that play.
11:48 left to play in the first half. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. It is fourth down and 2. Dordt at their own 27-yard line. Orozco fields the snap. Gets it away. Spiraling kick. It'll hang up in the air. Dankert will field it. Fair catch at the 38-yard line. First down and 10 for the Warriors at their own 38-yard line. And so far for Midland, it has been the Tyson Dankert show. He has been everywhere. Returns punts, catches passes, runs. But right now, Dordt leading 7-0 with 11:42 left to play here in the first half. So the defense got a little bit of a break. A little opportunity maybe to make some adjustments as well. Coach Joel Penner pointed out to me yesterday how important that is. You just need some time to talk things over and make adjustments as well.
Yeah, picking up a first down on that last series was big just to give the defense a little bit more of a rest.
Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson flag on the play, and the play stops as well, so this likely is against the offense. First penalty, I believe, of the day as well.
Yep, just I believe it.
Got going early.
Yeah, I guess offensive lineman moved a little bit early. Must have been really obvious to the officials. There were 2 or 3 flags on that one. I'm not sure why they're all looking at the same people, but, you know, that's the old coach in me, Mike. Sometimes it just comes out.
1st and 15. Every week I say I'm not going to say anything. First down and 15. They need the 48 for a first down. Johnson back to pass, looking underneath, and the pass is complete and staying home that time. The linebacker for the defenders, Josh Henderson, and we see the adjustment made.
Yep, and you'll see the backers do that. Now the key with that is still being maintaining your responsibilities, because you don't necessarily want to jump a short route if there's that second level behind you. But good choice there. Was able to limit the yards after the catch.
Gain of 3 on the play. It's 2nd down and 12. Midland taking their time. Johnson looking to the sideline. 2nd down and 12 yards to go. Motioning a man out of the backfield. That's Tucker. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson pass underneath, and again, reading it is Isaac Kakmarinsky. Short gain on the play to Jaden Shakir, but short of the first down by at least 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Warriors.
Yeah, and if not for the negative play, those are two completions that puts Midland into, if they don't pick up the first down, they're in a really short 3rd down type of situation. So that first penalty, that motion, really is hurting them.
3rd down and 6. Johnson has a running back in the backfield with him. He's back to pass, and he throws over the middle, and it is intercepted. Taking it away with the hot hand, Nathan Feldman, his 3rd interception of the season. He had 2 last week, and he wouldn't be denied as he read the ball, took it away, and the receiver actually tried to come over the top and high point it, and he took it back.
Yeah, good strong hands, great interception here, because that's a first down pickup for Midland if we don't get that drop and get underneath that route. And, yeah, now we got to go in the other way with really good field position.
Nathan Feldman is a freshman. He had 2 interceptions last week. He is from North Polk, Iowa. He was the player of the year last year in his class. Played quarterback, played both ways. Right now playing safety for the defenders, and his 3rd interception in 2 weeks. Dordt with the football at their own 45-yard line. Colson Cruz fakes the handoff, pulls it, now pitches left side McCoy, Preston McCoy, and he is up to the 48-yard line, positive yardage, picks up maybe 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. The defenders trying to pound, and we'll see if something softens up and they're able to break a big one.
Yeah, we're at that point in the season, Mike, where everybody, all the opponents have had so much film. You got to get a little bit off of your tendencies offensively. And even how we run our offense and our option game, probably block things a little bit differently at times. So we got to mix it up on this Midland defense.
Geeson came into the play for the defenders at tight end. They're going to go on the end around. This is Fritz. Fritz on the sweep. He's got a convoy. Fritz dodges one tackler, and Midland able to break it up. I thought Dordt had numbers, but breaking up the play is Brandon Lance, the leading tackler for Midland, preventing Fritz from picking up a first down. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, and sometimes you have numbers, but you have
the wrong numbers.
Well, and it can kind of work against you because your offensive linemen, they're not used to just sprinting, right? Running full speed downfield. And so they're kind of...
It's one more chess piece to avoid.
Yeah, you're just trying to slow it down. They're looking for somebody to block instead of just sprinting. I think if we attack a little bit more, there may have been more running room.
3rd down and 2. Dordt with the football in Midland territory. Cruz pulls it, now pitches left side, and...
But it looked like a lot of contact downfield, but we're not going to get the call.
Isaac Looker unable to get the first down, and actually unable to make the catch as he and the defensive back for Midland. A lot of hand fighting over there, a lot of contact, and the clock stops on the incomplete pass, and it will be Midland receiving the punt. Tyson Denkert will station himself inside the 20, and we'll see Ivan Orozco for the second time this afternoon with 8:48 left to play in the second period. It's still 7-0 defenders. So Orozco punting. And he's averaging right at 44 yards per punt. gets the snap. And a fair catch called for at the 19-yard line, and Dankert will give it to the official. First down and 10 for Midland at their own 19-yard line. They'll mark it at the 20, actually. So first down and 10 for the Warriors, just like a touchback at their own 20-yard line. Well, coming up at halftime, that's rapidly approaching. We'll have Brendan Piper. We'll be talking to him. He's a senior from New Prague, Minnesota. And also, if all goes according to plan, we'll have some halftime comments from Coach Joel Penner. Kyle Achterhoff will be getting down to the sideline. Johnson hands it off. Dankert, the ball carrier, and Dankert, not much there. And Dankert, no gain on the play. It's going to be second down and long. Dankert came into the ball game averaging 3.8 yards per carry. So far, he has not done the damage on the ground, but he has done the damage coming out of the backfield. He has 7 carries. He also has 5 receptions for 39 yards. He's averaging 7.8 yards per catch.
Yeah, it says a little bit about what the Dordt defense has taken away. Doing a pretty good job covering these dangerous receivers downfield, so forcing Midland to throw the underneath route, and that's where Dankert has been making his living here.
Second down and 9. They dump it off underneath, and this is a tight end. And short of the first down, Brody Anderson. Anderson, 8 catches coming into the game, and he gets to the 28 before he's upended. It's third down and 2. This is a big third down play for Midland, deep in their own territory. So third down and 2 for the defenders. Midland needs the 30 for a first down. Trying to find Dankert. I'm going to keep my eyes on Dankert coming out of the backfield.
Yeah.
That is where they've had the most success. I also, tight end. The tight ends have gotten some critical catches as well. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson flush from the pocket. Johnson looking downfield. Dordt has him covered, and there you have it, the tight end, Brody Anderson. Short gain on the play down to the 34-yard line, and a first down, and the play extended long enough, and the tight end just kept going along with the quarterback and picks up enough for a first down to the Dordt to the Midland 36-yard line.
Yeah, and Midland was wanting to throw that kind of a 3-step drop, a quick passing game, and Dordt was able to jump those routes initially, but Johnson having a little, he has good enough mobility where he gets outside of the pocket and bought some extra time, found an open receiver.
First down and 10 for Midland. Midland dumps it off underneath. This is Dankert. Dankert to the 40, turns the corner, 45-50, and pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line by Cole Johnson. And that play right there earlier where they got the first down, so reminiscent of that 2-point conversion. I watched it several times from a few years ago. Quarterback just kept going right, and the tight end just kept going with him, and eventually the linebacker makes the decision. Am I going to go to the quarterback with the ball? Am I going to cover the running back or the tight end? They make the decision to go get the quarterback, and there you have the open player.
Yep.
First down and 10 at the 44-yard line. Handoff to Dankert. Dankert, the ball carrier, and Dankert, nothing there. The tackle made by Colson Queering. It's going to be second down and 9 at the Dordt 43-yard line. 6 minutes left to go in the first half. This is Midland's third possession of the game. Dordt has had the ball twice. Dordt leads 7-0. And if not for a goal line stand, this is likely tied. Dordt leading 7-0. Midland taking their time. They don't want to hurry up either. It appears both teams content right now to just see what they can do by taking some time, and pass over the middle is complete. And still on his feet, the pass completed to Covington. Covington to the end zone. Touchdown, Midland. Midland got the pass completion to Covington. Dordt missed a tackle, and that's a 44-yard touchdown pass and catch for Covington. And Midland a point after now, away from tying this game at 7-7. On to attempt the point after is Peyton Alexander. So Alexander with the point after try. He's a perfect 26 for 26 so far this season. And the Midland Warriors respond to the Dordt defenders. And the snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights, and we're tied 7-7. 5:23 left to go in the first half. Midland and Dordt knotted up. Let's take a 1-minute break. We'll be back with a kickoff right after this 1-minute timeout. To Piper. Piper up the middle. Piper still on his feet. Touchdown defender. roar to the goal line. Touchdown, Defenders.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by RA Rentals. Looking for top-notch rental equipment for the next project? Look no further than RA Rentals, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. RA Rentals, your regional equipment rental experts. Discover more than just inventory, service, and financing for Ford models. Mao Motor Company is committed to exceptional customer service. Mao Motor on Highway 75 North in Sioux Center. Online, maomotor.com. Today's broadcast brought to you by Hague Health Center, proudly serving your local community for nearly 60 years with a commitment to healing body, mind, and spirit.
7-7 as Midland converts on the drive after the Dordt punt. Valverde takes it at his own 5-yard line to the 10, to the 20, to the 25-30, up the sideline 35 and forced out of bounds. Right as he gets to the 35-yard line, they're going to mark him out of bounds at the Dordt 34. It'll be first down and 10 for the Warriors, and Midland moments ago completing that drive. And it was a 6-play, 80-yard drive. Dordt had Midland third down a couple different times, unable to get the defense off of the field.
Yeah, and we've mentioned the abilities of this wide receiver core for Midland, and Covington especially does a great job of running with the ball after the catch, and was able to shed one tackler and make that a big play for a score for Midland.
7 touchdowns now this season for Covington. Cruz turns, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll left, now flush from the pocket, rolling to the right, trying to get to the corner, and he steps out of bounds at the 34-yard line. It'll be it'll be second down, and it looks like 6. Well, depending on the spot of the football, they're going to give him the 39, so second down and 5, so a 5-yard pickup on the scramble by Colson Cruz.
Yeah, good quick decision by Cruz. He had pressure off of his right side and was able to bounce it out. Evade one defensive lineman to get positive yards.
Second down and 5. Pitch, left side. This is Fritz. Fritz trying to get to the corner. He does. He's up the sideline to the 50 and steps out of bounds right at the 50-yard line. And they're going to mark him out of bounds, actually back at the 45, but a 6-yard pickup on the play. It will be first down and 10 for the Defenders at their own 45 with 4:28 left to play in the second quarter. Fritz, boy, you just need just a little bit more room. Otherwise, he's got a big gainer. As it is, a 6-yard pickup on the play. And for Fritz, that's 6 carries for 37 yards so far today. Leading ground gainer last week. Van Dong in motion. They turn, hand, give to Dodd. Connor Dodd in between the tackles, picks up 3 on the play. Second down and 7 for the Defenders as they approach midfield. And threatening to move into Midland territory. I would dearly love it that we wouldn't give the ball back to Midland before the half, unless, of course, a score happens before then.
Right. Yeah, you want to maintain possession here, pick up first downs, and ultimately put some points on the board. But you also want to keep your defense on the sideline, give them a little bit of a break too.
Second down and 7, handoff to Dodd. Dodd trying to get to the edge. Did he lose the football? Looked like he was scrambling towards it. Forward progress, picks up a yard, and it's going to be third down and 6. So the Defenders at their own 49-yard line, facing third down and 6. They need the Midland 45 for a first down. Rhett Williams and Thomas Fritz are back into the game, and there's 3:08 remaining in the first half. So Dordt with the football. We're tied 7-7 after Midland tied it up moments ago. Third down and 6. Dodd and Fritz in the backfield. Van Dong and Williams to the near side. Looker to the far side. They hand it off to Dodd. Dodd, the ball carrier, and Dodd met at the line and maybe picks up 2 on the play, and Midland's defense closes fast.
Boy, a little bit late toss to the ground there. It could have drew a flag from the Midland defense, but the officials kept it in their pocket.
Gain of 2 on the play. It's going to be fourth down and 4. And Dordt can take this down to the 2-minute warning if they wish. So Tyson Dankert back at his own 17-yard line. It's fourth down and 4. Dordt punting at the Midland 49-yard line. And they'll snap it back to Orozco. Orozco gets it away just barely. Dankert driven back to his own 10. It takes a Midland bounce into the end zone and a touchback. And with 1:55 left to go in the game, we will have the 2-minute timeout on the change of possession. So Dordt able to, a little bit of gamesmanship there, keeping the ball away from Midland and forcing them to, they don't get a free timeout in effect off of that change of possession.
Yeah, exactly. And a really good punt. Just made its way into the end zone, but it would have been really nice to get some coverage guys down there and maybe pin Midland deep. Just didn't make that play.
We have a timeout on the field. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Let's take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with Midland opening their drive right after this 30-second timeout.
How can I join Defender Forever? It's easy. Go to dordt.edu/forever and sign up. You'll not only stay connected with the Dordt community, but also support the future of Defender Nation. Start Forever now. Once you sign up, you will receive exclusive perks, brand new gear, event access, and the latest Dordt news. Be part of something special. Be part of Defender Forever.
$1:55 left to play in the first half. We're tied 7-7. Midland closing the first half in all likelihood with the ball. Back to pass it Johnson. Johnson flushed from the pocket, passes it off to Dankert. Dankert up the sideline, and Dankert forced out of bounds at the 24-yard line. That'll be first down gain of 4 yards, and they mark him at the 25 actually, so second down and 5 on the way. Second down and 5 coming. Midland taking their time while they got out of bounds, so that stopped the clock with 1:45 remaining. Johnson. So Brody Johnson flushed from the pocket that last play. Flushed from the pocket again, scrambling, throws to the sideline. And the defenders able to keep him in. Nope. He was able to get out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Warriors at their own 41. So Midland, a couple of plays for positive yardage. It'll be first down and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Dordt defense needs to make a stop here and get off the field.
Yeah, Mike Johnson does a really good job, even when he's forced to tuck the ball or scramble or move in the pocket. He does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield and knowing where he's going to find his receivers open.
First down and 10 at the 41-yard line. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson steps up in the pocket. Pass over the middle is complete, and that's complete to Vigil. Ball's down on the ground. It looks like Dordt got on top of it. So the Dordt defenders get a turnover, and we talked about it earlier. You either need turnovers or a stop because this Midland offense looks pretty potent, and it's an offense that averages right at 37 points a game. The defenders force their second turnover, and they get the football back. And they've got a little bit of time and all 3 timeouts remaining as well. 1:28 left to play in the half.
Yeah, great job of just stripping at the football. You know, first guy was there and was securing the tackle. The second defensive player at the ball was stripping at the ball and was able to jar it loose.
Now the wind has died down significantly looking over at the flag on the south end. If you've got a scoot, Kyle, you take off when you need to. Fake the handoff, Cruz. Cruz pitches right side McCoy. McCoy up the sideline. And Preston McCoy steps out of bounds after a gain of 8 on the play, and we have a player shaken up for the Midland Warriors as well. It'll be second down and 2. Dordt with the football at the 46-yard line. This could end up being a big deal for the defenders here at the end of the half. Can you get into field goal range? Player shaken up for Midland, number 34, Carter Wagner. Wagner hanging that telltale sign of my shoulder hurts. Yeah. That right arm hanging limply, helped out by the training staff for Midland. Week number 7, week number 8, it does take its toll, and he will walk off of the field under his own power. And Jeff Jamrog, he's upset about something. Taking a walk all the way to midfield to talk to the referee. So second down and 2. Midland taking the opportunity, pulling the team over to get a free timeout, if you will. Clock stopped, 1:23 left to play here in the first half, and I'll go solo from here on out. Kyle Achterhoff will work his way over to the sideline and catch Coach Joel Penner as he gets off the field. So 2nd down and 2, 83 seconds remaining in the first half. Dordt with the football in Midland territory at the 46-yard line. Snap back to Cruz. Cruz pitches over to Fritz. Fritz up the sideline, and Fritz picks up a first down. Oh, did they give him the first down? Does not look like it. They're going to mark him just shy. So it's going to be 3rd down and less than a yard at the Midland 44-yard line. Well, if it was the 44, they'd have the first down. As it is, they're stopped just short. Looked like Fritz tried to get the ball out in front and broke the plane. He thought he broke the plane, and the official on the far side thought so as well. But it's going to be 3rd down and less than a yard for the defenders. Preston McCoy in the backfield. They hand it off to Fritz. Fritz, the ball carrier, and Fritz picks up a first down. So that's a first down for the defenders down to the Midland 39-yard line. Again, Dordt has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. You'd like to save one. If you need it to get a field goal, get the field goal team, the field goal unit onto the field. First down and 10 for the defenders at the Midland 39-yard line. Colson Cruz trying to engineer a late drive here in the half. They pitch it over to Van Dong. Van Dong steps out of bounds down at the 37-yard line. So a short gain on the play. Pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Clock stops on the pass. Coming up at halftime, we will also make sure that we, after the Joel Penner interview, those of you watching on the Dordt Media Network, yes, we'll have the cheer and dance team as well, that performance. So 2nd down and 8. Cruz going to run option to the near side, to the far side. Fakes the pitch, keeps it, and he is thrown for no gain on the play. Paxton Van Houten on the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down. 3rd down with 57 seconds remaining, and the defenders will utilize a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in a minute.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973. Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Realty, a team of realtors in Northwest Iowa with the drive, care, and results you need to buy or sell your home. Visit them online, 712realty.com, leading you home. This broadcast brought to you by the Ullman Funeral Homes. Chad Ullman, Lori Ewell, and Taylor Van Witchell providing professional attention to every detail.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today, serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
3rd down and 8 for the defenders at the Midland 37-yard line. Under a minute to go in the half. The defenders, Colson Cruz, got Preston McCoy behind him, Van Dong, and Ben Flora lining up in the slot, I think. It's Flora on the near side. No, that's Williams. Back to passes Cruz. Cruz is going to scramble left. He's under pressure, and he goes down. No gain on the play for Colson Cruz. It's going to be 4th down. 4th down for the defenders, and they're at the Midland 39-yard line. 42 seconds remaining. And for the defenders, Midland will use a timeout here. And they'll stop the clock and force Dordt to make a decision. My guess would be a punt will be forthcoming for the defenders, facing 4th down and 9 at the 38-yard line. They need the 29 for a first down. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll be back with more from Open Space Park in 1 minute.
Each year, more students find their place at Dordt University. Through top-ranked academics and athletics, Dordt continues to flourish and grow. But what defines Dordt goes far beyond national recognition. It's an unwavering commitment to prepare graduates to serve in a changing world. But that mission doesn't end at graduation. It continues through the work and leadership of our graduates until all is made new.
Welcome to Sioux Center, Iowa, life in the center of everything. Where we connect with friends, coworkers, family, and the great outdoors, knowing that in Sioux Center, you're never far from making the next great memory. And we grow great companies that make cutting-edge breakthroughs to make life better here and around the world. And when it's time to play, we keep friendship.
The defenders will punt after the Midland timeout, and a short punt fielded by Dankert at the 19-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for the Midland Warriors. 80 yards to go, 31 seconds on the clock. Their kicker, in case you're wondering, Peyton Alexander, 5 of 8 on field goals so far this year. And Alexander has a long this year of 39. So that would be the 22-yard line. So that is the target for Midland, it would appear to me. They've got 2 timeouts remaining, 31 seconds remaining. Brody Johnson back to pass. Johnson looking underneath. Throws to the sideline, throws it away. It'll be second down, and if you're Midland this situation, you just don't want to do anything silly. Turn it over here and give Dordt a free chance. Might be content if you don't get a first down here to get to halftime. 24 seconds on the clock. Looking to the sideline again is Brody Johnson. We're tied 7-7. Dordt an early score. Midland, a big play. 40-plus yards on the touchdown reception. It's second down and 10. Johnson back to pass. Johnson under pressure, giving chase is Weinberg. Throw down the field, and it is incomplete. Incomplete. The coverage by Cole Johnson on the pass intended for T.J. Covington out near the 45-yard line. Covington trying to get the pass interference call. None forthcoming. Now it's third down and 10. 16 seconds remaining. Well, if you're Midland now, do you run the ball and force Dordt to use a timeout and then punt? Or are you trying to get down the field yet? 16 seconds remaining. Right now, an incomplete pass. You're giving the football back to Dordt. Potentially. Dankert motions out of the backfield. Back to pass to Johnson. Johnson, pass underneath intended for Tim Brown is complete, and he stopped short of the first down, and Dordt will use a timeout. 8 seconds remaining. They're going to force Midland to punt. They're facing fourth down and 6. So Midland with it. 8 seconds remaining. We have a timeout on the field. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll be back with this fourth down play right after this 30-second timeout. Midland might entertain trying to just simply run out the clock with 8 seconds left. Instead, Gavin Roll will punt. So Roll will punt. Valverde is back at his own 35-yard line. Valverde will take it at the 35. Tries to return it. Gets a seam. He's up the right sideline. Gets a block. 50, 40, and he is forced out of bounds, and that'll be the last play of the first half. So the Dordt defenders and Midland Warriors play one half of football, and we are tied 7-7. So 7-7 our score. We're at halftime here on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. The Dordt Media Network, we will keep it right here, and we'll get to a halftime interview with Kyle Achterhoff and Joel Penner. On KIHK, let's take a 2-minute break. Let's take a 2-minute break, Nathan. We'll be back with more from Open Space Park on KIHK in 2 minutes.
And we're at the half with head coach Joel Penner of the Dordt Defenders. Coach, game started out really well. Yep. Caused 3 and out, got the ball, and drove it down the field for the score. Yep. After that, it's been kind of tough going. What's happening?
Third downs, we've been 3rd and short twice, 2 incomplete passes, 3rd and medium, missed an open receiver. So on offense, it's about converting on 3rd down.
Yeah, defense really stepped up, caused a couple turnovers there, gave offense some chances, just weren't able to capitalize. What do we need to do in the second half to get the offense going?
Yeah, I think we're in a great spot. It's really comes down to those conversion downs. I feel like we're getting good plays on 1st and 2nd down, but we just have to do a better job in those crucial thirds.
All right, sounds great, Coach. Good luck in the second half. And that's Coach Penner at the half, and we'll send it to the dance team.
And Midland Warriors have played to a 7-7 deadlock thus far, with Dordt scoring first on a Thomas Fritz 8-yard touchdown run. With 7:15 left to go in the first quarter, Dordt had a 7-0 lead. Midland threatened almost immediately, worked the ball down inside the 10, had 4th down and goal to go inside the 1, unable to convert, and it stood 7-0 until midway through the second quarter when Brody Johnson completed a pass to TJ Covington for 43 yards, and Midland tied at 7-7. Neither team with great scoring opportunities after that. Dordt had the football in Midland territory a couple different times and were unable to convert. And I don't know, do we have highlights for this afternoon's contest so far? If we do, we can go ahead and run those now, the Hague Health Center highlights. Otherwise, we can wait until the end of the half before we do those. Tell you about the leaders for both teams. First of all, for the Dordt Defenders, they are led in rushing by Thomas Fritz, 8 carries for 44 yards. Colson Cruz, 5 carries, 7 yards. Preston McCoy, 5 carries for 23 yards. Preston McCoy with the lone touchdown so far today. Colson Cruz, 4 of 6 passing for 30 yards. Tackle leaders for the Defenders, Isaac Kakmarinsky with a couple. The touchdown saving tackle, the touchdown stopping tackle, also done by Zach Queering, as he was able to shoot the gap, and he's got a couple of tackles to his credit, one for a loss, and we also had an interception by Nathan Feldman for the Defenders. For Midland, they're led by Brody Johnson, 18 of 22 passing, 183 yards. Tyson Dankert, 9 rushes for 9 yards. TJ Covington, 2 catches for 56 yards. Tyson Dankert, 7 catches for 63 yards. Midland is led on defense by Bo LaCroix with 4 total tackles. Dom Rohleder has a tackle for a loss. We're at halftime. You are listening to the Dordt Defenders versus Midland Great Plains Athletic Conference football game coming up later on in the half. Later on at halftime, we will check in with the scores from around the conference as well. some critical games being played. Concordia and Morningside has my attention. Doane, Briar Cliff. I'm curious to see who wins out in that one. Doane, I believe, a better team that 1-5 record shows. And Hastings and Mount Marty will be kicking off at 2 o'clock this afternoon. By the way, you just saw the Hague Health Center highlights. So let's take another 2-minute break, and we'll be back visiting with Dordt's running back, Brendan Piper, on our halftime spotlight right after this 2-minute timeout.
Hello, Dordt University sports fans. Hope you're enjoying the game, whether you're a family or friend of a team member or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. There's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has for each game, and that's a game plan. And no matter the outcome of the game, there's tremendous value in growth in working together as a team to execute that game plan. What about you? Do you have a game plan for your financial life? Or are you so busy with everything else that life throws your way? If you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours and hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, the planning firm here in Sioux Center has been helping households build and execute their financial game plans on all the things more important than money. I'm Tom DeYoung, president of the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media, or schedule a complimentary Discover meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. We'll help you build your financial game plan on all the things in your life more important than finances, while being a good steward of the resources God has entrusted to your care. And check out our Money Concepts Radio podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com, on your favorite podcast app, where we dive into relevant financial planning topics to bring clarity to the often confusing, ever-changing rules of the game in the financial world. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money. And go Defenders!
Spotlight today, we are going to check in with Brendan Piper. Brendan is a senior on the Dordt football team from New Prague, Minnesota. Help me out on the geography, Brendan. Where is New Prague located?
Yeah, New Prague, a lot of people say it's pretty close to the cities, but we kind of try and say that we're more of in a country area, but it's about 45 minutes southwest of Minneapolis and St. Paul.
How'd you find Dordt?
It was actually pretty interesting.
That's a common theme when people, when I ask that question, they're like, well, it's a funny story. So tell me about it.
Yeah, so actually our, rival over here, Northwestern, reached out to me. And when they reached out to me, I kind of just looked at neighboring schools, and I ended up reaching out to Dordt because it looked like an interesting place. And then I got connected with Coach McCormick, and then the recruiting process really started.
What did that recruiting process look like?
Coach McCormick or Coach Penner would reach out very frequently, and they really made me feel like, I mattered to them and kind of built a personal connection. Coach McCormick visited our school a few times just to kind of, lay out what the process was going to look like and just kind of get to know each other better so that I could get to know Dordt and see if it was the place for me.
Were you a running back in high school as well?
I was a running back and mainly linebacker.
I was going to say, you look like a high school linebacker, too. So you played both sides of the football. Do you have success at New Prague as a high school football player?
Yeah, we had some success. I would say junior year was a little bit more challenging with COVID, but senior year we really got, as a full team, to kind of rally around, and we had something to rally around, and we had really good success. I think we ended the season 7-2, which was one of our most winning seasons. We actually won a home playoff game, which we hadn't done in, I think, about 30 years at New Prague. So it was a big accomplishment senior year.
So you jump into college football. What was that first year like as a college football player?
Man, it was different for sure. I would say I would compare it more to a full-time job rather than just a part-time thing where you're, having fun with your friends. You're still having fun all the time, but it's definitely more taxing on the body. And really the biggest change was the speed of the game. I think it took a few games for sure to kind of adjust to just the speed of the players and just the physicality that it takes to play at the college level.
Did you come in as a running back, or was there some question of whether you would play offense or defense when you got here?
I did come in as a running back.
Okay. The thing that so many people talk to me about, and they'll talk about the running back depth that Dordt has. What's it like having teammates and you're competing for playing time and carries with people who you want the best for as well? What's that like?
I think it's awesome. I think that a lot of other campuses or either running back rooms would kind of look down on each other, but I think we kind of all look at each other in a good positive way and try and want what's best for each other, like you were talking about. But it really just brings out that competitiveness between each other. Everyone's competing for the same thing, obviously, but kind of trying to show your edge on them is really just the way that we honor each other and that we honor the Lord.
What's the one run that you remember from college? The one where it's like, yeah, that was really good. Do you have any of those?
I would say for me, really would be freshman year, my second game, we played Morningside, and I hadn't gotten a ton of snaps then, so I was really just kind of trying to figure out the speed of the game, and I remember we ran a guard tackle pull where I was following Parker Beck, and I think I ran for my longest touchdown of about 72 yards. So that was pretty meaningful to me for freshman year, just to kind of kick it off with a bang.
And then as a sophomore, you were the guy that carried against Morningside as well when things were kind of not going well in Sioux City. What does it feel like when that hole opens up and it's like, this could be a big gainer? What does that feel like?
I don't think there's a word that you can use to really describe it. I think that really what it stems from is just having so much trust in the guys in front of me. I mean, I've been blessed all 4 years now to have great offensive linemen or just great teammates around me that truly I know are going to do their job, and it opens up my ability to, kind of showcase what I can do. And for times like that, I think there's just no better way there's no way to describe, what you're feeling in that moment other than this is where I got to go and this is what I got to do to accomplish that.
How's this season going from your perspective? Obviously winning games, team playing well. I mean, what do you think of how it's playing when you take the wins and losses out of it?
Yeah, I think that this season's been really special in particular because I think we're approaching it in a different way. We're not kind of, every week is the same as we're approaching. We call it Team X, where each week we're focusing just on the team in front of us and really how that we can better ourselves rather than focusing on beating an actual team. And I think that's really setting us up for good long-run success as we're just focusing on how we can better ourselves and become the best team. We have a kind of a saying, the longer we play, the better we get. And I think we stay true to that.
What are you studying? What's your field of study?
I'm currently studying accounting and finance.
And is that what you came in as a freshman? Was that something you had to figure out? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was definitely something I had to figure out. Coming into college, I actually had my major was computer science.
Okay.
And really after taking a programming class, I found out quickly that it wasn't for me and that I wanted to change. And accounting kind of opened up in that window, as was another class that I was taking, and the professors, Randy Smith in particular, was very helpful in kind of guiding me on that path.
You've had some opportunities in terms of internships, part-time work. Could describe that, or how has that helped set you up for post-graduation?
Oh, it's helped tremendously. Getting introduced to internships from just the business department in general has been great for me. I think last year and this year I both interned at a accounting firm, which I now have a full-time offer from that I will be attending after graduation from college, but it's been a huge success. It's really gotten me introduced to different fields that I may or may not want to work in, and it's kind of set me up for where I want to start my life after college ends.
4 years ago, you're in New Prague, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You really hadn't heard of Dordt. You had heard of Northwestern, they reached out to you, and then you started looking at some other schools around there, and you end up at Dordt University. What have you learned along the way in the last 4 years?
I've learned so much. It's hard to describe. I would say the biggest thing that I've learned has been religiously. growing up, it was difficult for our family to get to church. My sister actually has special needs, so we didn't always have the ability to go out and hear the words of the Lord. But coming here was a complete change in 180, where I was able to actually grow in my faith and learn that the Lord touches everything. It's not just a Sunday activity. It's really something that you can grow in every day. And I think that's been more of a choice that's grown over the years, where my roommates and the people that I've surrounded myself with also want to grow in their faith, and that's been really important to me.
Can you tell me, and I don't want to make the statement for you, but I would like you to say who are some of the coaches? I mean, how do the coaches foster that? Because they can't drag you to church. They can, but they can foster it. How do they do that?
Absolutely. The coaches, I would say, build a culture that makes you want to go to church, makes you want to, learn and be with the Lord. I think we have a saying, audience of one, that we kind of live to throughout the season, where we're not playing for just for each other. We're not just playing for any material thing. We're really playing at the end of the day for the Lord. And that kind of frees us up, that there's no restraints. You don't have to play on trial. You can play on display. And you can really display your talents knowing that you're fully loved and cared for by the Lord. And I think that's a culture that's just kind of built over the years and has continued to follow through.
You're a little banged up right now.
Yes.
How hard is it to stay patient?
It's very difficult. Someone that always wants to go, and it's really hard just to kind of sit back and kind of let things heal as they're supposed to, especially in the middle of the season when we're having great success. I would love to be out there, and I would love to be helping the team, but I know that this is what's needed.
Yeah, I've watched Daniel Dickerson sitting in the training room nursing turf toe.
Right.
And it's like, guy's in there all the time, and I've just got to think, it has to ache to sit and wait. So that's a part that we oftentimes don't see. So I want to give you encouragement on that front, but keep working. Good things will happen. We trust that there's something on the other side of this. So I just want to encourage you, Brendan. And you're a little banged up right now. Love to see you out there running the football again in a few weeks if we can get there. So
absolutely,
it's been fun watching you so far, and look forward to the end of the season and seeing what happens for you post graduation. Thanks for coming in for a few minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That is Brendan Piper, and he was talking about his time with the Dordt University football program, the senior from New Prague, Minnesota. And as he said, started looking around at some other options as the recruiting took place, and ended up coming to Dordt, and took him a little while to settle on a field of study as well. And that is not an uncommon thing for student athletes as well, and settling on accounting, and sounds like he's got a job lined up, so all good things for Brendan Piper. When I lined that interview up, I thought, he's going to be playing today. Not the case. He is held out of action this afternoon. And Kyle Achterhoff, you've made your way back up after talking with Coach Joel Penner at halftime and talking things over. 7-7 our score. Summarize Coach Penner's thoughts for those of us who either didn't hear it or just were ducking away and getting a snack or something.
Yeah. Coach mentioned, not being great on third down. We have to convert our third down plays to keep the offense on the field and maintain some drives. We've had our opportunities, right? The defense causes a couple turnovers, and offense has it in good field position and haven't scored off of either of those turnovers. So, in terms of what Midland's looking at, they survived a couple of interceptions and hadn't given up any points. And on our sideline, keeping the offense on the field and being able to convert and keep drives alive is going to be really important this second half.
Taking a look at this Midland team over the course of the season and the defense, and I know they gave up a ton of yards to Morningside, and they were involved in a wild game with Concordia as well, a high-scoring game. But you take a look at their yards surrendered per game, 110 yards rushing, 220 yards passing. They have been pretty good on defense. This shouldn't come as a surprise to us.
No, they're a solid defense. really and defend both the run and the pass well, but it all starts with them, and I know their game plan against this Defender football team is to stop the run. That's number one priority, force the Defenders to have to throw the ball to win the game, and it's kind of played into their hands so far, and so it's going to be really important for this Defender offense to get something rolling, and hopefully we can do it right out of the gate as we start the second half of the ball.
That first half did not take long to play at all, and we are just about set to begin the second half of action. We're just an hour and 15 minutes into this contest, and we've played to a 7-7 deadlock. Midland, a couple of turnovers and a goal line stand. They have to feel pretty good about the way they played overall. Those miscues, though, costing them opportunities.
Absolutely, and throwing for a high percentage and doing some good things. We got kick team offsides, I believe, here, Mike, so we're going to have some nice field position to start.
Preston McCoy at the 40-yard line on the short kick by Midland, and Midland, I think that might be a sign of respect to Keenan Valverde, and it also might be a sign of trying to catch the Dordt the return team sleeping on the return. But Preston McCoy, who has returned many kicks for the Defenders over the course of his career, fields it, returns it to the 40. Now we'll sort things out on the penalty flag.
Yeah, it should be starting out here about the 44 after they mark off the offside penalty. You don't want to force a re-kick. You got great field position the way it is, so let's just add 5 to the end.
Waiting for our officials to give us the details. So 1st and 10 for the Defenders at their own 44-yard line. And Noah Strickfadden's on the field. Noah Strickfadden, first drive of the second half, cleared to play midway through this week. So Strickfadden now in at quarterback for the Defenders with our score tied 7-7. 7-7 our score. Strickfadden slings it, far side, gets it over to Rhett Williams. Williams, completed pass and a first down to the 44-yard line. First down and 10 for the Defenders. So Strickfadden completes his first pass on his return to action after missing last week.
Yeah, and you just wonder how much rust is on there, right? Having had a lot of practice reps, I'm sure he was still throwing the ball quite a bit at practice, so you see how he holds up here in the second half.
First down and 10 for the Defenders at the 44-yard line. We're tied 7-7. And Strickfadden fakes the pitch. He throws over the middle, has Williams open. Williams inside the 20, down to the 10-yard line, and the Dordt Defenders in business on that seam route to Rhett Williams.
Well, this is a Midland team that is susceptible to the pass. As good as they've been defensively, they hang their hat on stopping the run. So if we can buy a little time, give Strickfadden some time in the pocket, I think he'll be able to find some guys open downfield, and so far 2 completions to start the half.
First down goal to go at the, first down and 10 at the 12-yard line. First down and 10 at the 12. Dodd motions, now comes on the right shoulder of Noah Strickfadden. And Strickfadden takes the snap, hands it off. Tommy Fritz, and Fritz trying to race to the edge, and he is dragged down from behind. Nice pursuit that time by Van Houten, and we've called his name a couple different times for Midland. Loss of 1 on the plays. He catches Fritz behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and he's a player that kind of plays their rover position, and he just ends up not blocked very often, so he does a nice job of pursuing and scraping and making open field tackles.
We should change that.
We should. I think, I know that's part of the game plan, how we switch up, how we block some option plays. So hopefully we put him in some tough spots.
Noah Strickfadden takes the snap, hands it off to Connor Dodd. Dodd on the right side, and Dodd that time positive yardage inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. Maybe got 5 yards on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 6. Football at the 9-yard line. So the Defenders well within range now for Stephen Linen, but I just feel like today is a day where when you can get 7, you want to get 7, especially early on. Good field position. Let's see if the Defenders can keep this drive going. They need 7 yards on this play. Football is at the 9. They need the 3 officially for a first down, so we'll call it 3rd down and 6. Always gets tough on that angle down on the far side. Rhett Williams lines up in the slot. Isaac Looker is on the near side. Strickfadden He's going to run, pitches over to Fritz. Fritz trying to get to the corner. He's got a blocker, steps out of bounds right at the 5-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down by a couple of yards.
Decision time, right, Mike?
2. What do you do?
You know, I think
I think you're going to take the points.
I would really been tempted to go for it.
I would too.
Even if you don't get it, similarly, when we stopped Midland down here, you put a offense backed up to the goal line. So, but yeah,
maybe you take points.
Yeah, and both teams scored 7 points in the first half, so they're hard to come by. So maybe you take them when you can.
Stephen Leinen, this will be a 23-yarder. Leinen's field goal is up and through, and the Dordt defenders reestablish a 10-7 lead, so the defenders get points out of the first drive of the second half. They lead 10-7. They'll be kicking off. It'll be Midland's first possession of the second half, coming up with 11:27 left to go in the third period when we're back in 1 minute. NewTek is your partner for success when purchasing equipment for construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and other industries. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your business and redefine your productivity standards with NewTek. Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973. Today's broadcast brought to you by Cruz & Cruz, PC, certified public accountants, offices in Sioux Center and Lamar's. Helping you attain your financial goals is their commitment. Today's broadcast brought to you by Joyner & Dordt Dentistry, providing implants, dentures, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere. Today's broadcast brought to you by Ski-Bout Window & Door, your local window experts. Whether you're building or replacing, Ski-Bout Window & Door has the products, people, and knowledge to get the job done right. See Ski-Bout and see the difference. Stephen Leinen kicking off a high end-over-end kick. It'll be taken in the end zone and run out of the end zone to the 5, to the 15, to the 20, and to the 23-yard line. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Warriors at their own 22-yard line. You asked about halftime scores, Kyle, from across the conference. Morningside leads Concordia 31-7. Doane leads Briarcliff 14-7. Waldorf and Dakota Wesleyan just kicked off about 20 minutes ago. Hastings and Mount Marty about 40 minutes away from kickoff. They're kicking off at 3 o'clock today in Yankton. No real surprises. Morningside in control against Concordia. Concordia, they're back at the back end of their schedule, backloaded as well. They've got Northwestern and Dordt on the schedule coming up as well. So they're playing Morningside today. So a lot to be decided yet over the final month or so of the conference season. Back to pass Johnson. Johnson throws it over the middle, and the pass is caught. And we have two defensive backs colliding. Pass completion to the 44-yard line. And the Midland Warriors throw it over the middle. That one floated up in the air a while.
Yeah.
Brody Johnson gets pass completion out of it.
Yeah, really had an opportunity there in the secondary to make a play, but receiver did a good job of maybe coming back just enough to get the best angle on the ball and made the catch.
I believe that was Tay Marks that made the catch. Nope, Samias Pickett, actually. They hand it off this time. Dankert, the ball carrier. Dankert picks up 3 on the play. It's going to be second down and 7. So Midland, they have not abandoned the run game by any means, but the lion's share of their offense has been through the air, that short pass. But they start on the ground to Tyson Dankert on this set of downs. Second down and 7. Football at their own 47-yard line. They need the Dordt 47 for a first down. So a 4-yard pickup on the play. Second and 6. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson floats it over the middle and just overshoots Tim Brown, and that's the kind that a linebacker will oftentimes get a hand on and maybe pick it off. Closest player there for the defenders was David Bowman. It's going to be third down and 6.
Yeah, how many times have we seen that? The tip ball, and Kakmarinsky ends up with the ball in his hands. So, yeah, just an overthrown ball. That was another one of those underneath routes that probably ends up being a conversion, pick up a first down. But now we're in a third down. Hopefully the defense can get a stop here.
Third down and 6. Coach Penner and you talked about it at halftime. Third down. Get them and stop them. Flush from the pocket is Johnson. Johnson dumps it underneath, and Dankert that time, nothing doing. And Ethan Mills, was Ethan Mills spying him there?
Yeah, I think they came out of the half understanding that number 23 is going to get his hands on the ball a lot, right? They relied on Dinkert a lot in the first half, not just running the ball, but with those underneath routes and those check downs. And, so I think we were a little bit more aware of where he is and what he was doing and was able to limit the yards after that catch.
Mills, a cornerback from Webb, Iowa. Keenan Velverty back at his own 18-yard line. Punting is Gavin Roll. Rugby kick, gets it away. It's a floater. And did he call for a fair catch? He did.
Now he's regretting it.
Yep, he had a head full of steam, and he was headed the other way. But I couldn't tell if he actually gave the wave. It almost looked like a Cooper DeJean.
Get away from the ball.
Kind of not.
Yeah.
As it is, first down and 10 for the defenders at their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, with those shorter punts, it's in the back of every returner's mind, right? This is most likely going to be a fair catch. You don't know you're going to run past the coverage team to field it. But yeah, if he hadn't, he'd have been.
He would have gotten positive yardage.
A lot, I think.
Noah Strickfaden in. Dordt leading 10-7. Strickfaden turns, hands, gives to Keenan Velverty. Velverty, first time we've called his name coming out of the backfield. Positive yardage, picks up 7. It'll be second down and 3.
Well, one thing that we probably don't talk enough about, Mike, is just the depth. And we talk about it with the running backs, and when you're able to rotate guys and get fresh legs on the field, that can pay dividends in the second half. But the flip side is on the defensive side. We do rotate a lot of guys defensively, and so you don't see a lot of drop-off from fatigue from our defensive unit in the second half.
3.6 yards per carry as a team so far today. Preston McCoy trying to get to the edge, and he picks up a first down. And right now, first downs feel like wins, Kyle.
Absolutely. You got to keep the offense on the field. You got to pick up first downs. You have to convert. If nothing else, keep that clock moving and keep the balls out of the hands of this Midland offense.
I heard an interesting comment this morning. They were talking about college football, as we do on every Saturday, and they said, you know what, they can hold you for 9 when you commit to the ground game, you can have 8 carries where you're getting 3 and 4 yards, but you never know when that 20-yarder is coming.
Well, and we know that this offensive unit has that ability, right, where we can spring a big one at any time.
Strickfaden throwing on the run, overshoots his man, took a shot down the field, and Isaac Looker had no chance of catching that one, and it was to his outside shoulder as well. If that one maybe is towards the middle of the field, and I know we're nitpicking there, but if it's to the middle of the field, he has a chance to run that one down, but he got his head turned around, and pass falls incomplete with 8:09 left to go in the third. Dordt still leading 10-7.
Yeah, and one of those take-a-shot plays, which – whether we complete it, obviously you want to complete those, right? But just stretching that defense a little bit. It's in the back of their head a little bit more now. Hopefully that loosens up this defense for Midland.
Second down and 10. Strickfaden is going to fake the pitch, keeps it himself, and Strickfaden is thrown to the ground. We've got a flag in the middle of the play as well. Back at the 40-yard line, is that going to be an illegal block or a hold?
Kind of in that area, Mike, unless they saw something defensively, but most likely a holding on Dordt.
So right now it's second down. It'd be third down and long if the play stands. And if I'm Midland, maybe you take the yards. Or it's going to be third down and long, or they pick the flag up, and they're going to mark this one off. And this will.
Well,
they're going to do what I was thinking. They said no gain on the play for Strickfaden, so rather than giving Dordt 2 chances to get 20, they're going to get 1 chance to get 10.
Yeah, and I couldn't hear what the official said, but he made no signal that there was even a penalty.
Okay, so maybe they just picked it up.
They may have.
Third down and 10, bunch formation for the defenders. 7:49 left to go in the third. Dordt leading 10-7. Looker in motion, back to passes Strickfaden. Strickfaden has a man open. This is Williams, and Rhett Williams, the security blanket comes through again. That is more than enough for a first down, all the way down to the 35-yard line. How does what does he do well to get in position to get passes?
Well, he actually uses his body really well, because there were actually some Midland defenders there, but he's able to shield them, and I tell you what, Mike, that was an excellent thrown ball. I mean, he put it Noah put that ball in the only place where his receiver could make a play and catch it, and just a phenomenal play to keep this drive going.
First down and 10 for the defenders at the 35-yard line. Strickfedden has McCoy behind him. Just feel like you're sitting on a potential big play. Pass goes over to Van Dong. Van Dong, first down, and Van Dong spins away. He's still on his feet. Inside the 10, down to the 5, down to the 3. Stopped short of the first down, and I'm checking the officials. Do they mark him out of bounds? They do not. He's inside the 5. Nice piece of running that time by Van Dong. Keeping him, staying in play.
Staying in play, staying alive, and really a great run after the catch. Just not settling for the first down and getting out of bounds, but having that desire to try to get in the end zone. So put us in a nice situation here, being first and goal at the 3.
6:34 left to play in the third period. Dordt leading 10-7, knocking on the door. They turn, hand it off. McCoy straight up the middle, and looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down, short of the goal line. Easy for you to say. Right. It's going to be second down and goal. He's just stopped just short.
Yeah, but a really nice push by the offensive line. That was 2 yards behind those guys that just. We're moving the line of scrimmage.
See if you can snowplow in there. They give it to McCoy again. McCoy this time straight up the middle. And that time he's into the end zone. Touchdown defenders, and the Dordt defenders lead it 16-7. 2 possessions and 2 scores to start the second half.
Yeah, and to get that one in the end zone, Mike, that was big. Now you push it to a 2-score game. Hey, that's huge today. But we also know this Midland offense is very explosive. They had a huge comeback against Concordia. Very capable. There's nothing to relax on now. We got to keep this going. And every time the offense is on the field, we have to be converting, getting first downs, and like that, finish in the end zone.
Stephen Leinen on to attempt the point after try. He's made all but one of them this season. Missed his first one of the year last year. Gets that one through the uprights. And the Dordt defenders have outscored Midland 10-0 to start the third quarter of play. 17-7 defenders. Back with more from Open Space Park in 1 minute. Today's broadcast brought to you by Ployne Publishing, quality printing from design to delivery.
The Greenhouse, located in Hall, Iowa, bringing you amazing coffee, energy drinks, breakfast, lunch, and so much more. A big city feel, only 10 minutes away from Sioux Center, with a second location opening soon in Sanborn.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Orange City. Whether you're looking for repairs, replacement, or maintenance for your air conditioning or heating system, Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Orange City will exceed your expectations.
How soon they abandon the run and just keep Johnson dropping back, throwing the ball.
5:42 left to go here in the third quarter. Dordt leading 17-7. They hand it off to Dankert. Dankert, the play stretches out to the sideline, and Dankert dragged down from behind. Coming on to make the tackle for the defenders, that's Colson Queering. Queering, short gain on the play for Dankert, but he's running east-west a lot on that play.
Yeah, and a nice job by Queering of shedding the blocker and making that tackle. He's not an easy player to get to the ground, but playing physical football. Queering makes that tackle.
Second down and 9 for Midland. 5:09 left to play in the third period. Johnson back to pass. Johnson looks underneath, and the pass is complete to Tim Brown. Brown, I thought he had positive yardage moving forward, and then he retreated to try and get another run at it. He stopped for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, and he was able to shed the first tackler, but I mentioned it earlier in the game. The thing that this defense does really well is swarm to the ball. So it's a second, third, and fourth guy there that were able to make sure he didn't get positive yards.
Third down and 7. Midland with the football at their own 31. They need the 38 for a first down. Dankert is in the backfield along with Brody Johnson. Receivers tight to the line of scrimmage. And back to pass is Johnson. Johnson. Pass is complete to Covington, and Covington, beautifully thrown ball that time by Brody Johnson, under pressure, took some punishment at the end of it and put it right on the money to TJ Covington inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line, and the defense unable to get off the field on that third down conversion.
Right, yeah, you mentioned it. Really well thrown football, was able to get it in between the corner and the safety that was making his way over to make the play, but was able to feather it right in there in that small window.
Brody Johnson, he's found Covington a couple of times for big plays. Find out where number 0 is. Oddly enough, not listed on there too deep. He hands it off to Dankert. Dankert, the ball carrier, and Queering is there to stack him up. Short gain on the play, though. Picks up 3. It'll be second down and 7. Midland, we talk about Dordt's offensive line. Midland's offensive line getting a little bit of a push now here in the second half.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Penner this week, he felt like this is probably the best offensive line our defense has faced this season. Yeah, just a solid group of offensive linemen. They pass blocked really well, and so far they've kept Johnson fairly clean.
Second down and 7. Johnson back to pass, looking right. And he dumps it off underneath Dankert. Dankert, the ball carrier, and Dankert is forced out of bounds before he got to the first down marker, I think. It's going to be third down and a yard, it appears. They need the 26 for a first down. They're at the 27. So another third down conversion try here for Midland. Likely 4-down territory here for Midland as we head to the latter stages of the third quarter. Dordt, a defensive change, new personnel. So third down and less than a yard. Let's see if Midland maybe takes a shot here. Third down and 1. Receiver to the far side is Kevin Adams. Send a man in motion. They hand it off. No, they dump it off, and the pass is complete for a 2-yard gain. And that was just, in effect, a long handoff. They got it to, can't make out who that was. That was 85. He wasn't listed as well, so checked him in for this. This is Ali Biamila, and he picks up a first down in Midland now. A fresh set of downs at the Dordt 25. 1:59 left to go in the third. Trailing by 10. Now the Dordt defense needs to come up and make a play. First down and 10 for the Warriors. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Dankert in the backfield. The motion, Dankert out of the backfield. They dump it off to Dankert. Dankert right now behind the line of scrimmage. Dordt rallies to the football, and coming up to make the hit, Josh Henderson, as Dankert gets up to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So Dordt able to limit the damage on that completion to Dankert. It'll be second down and long.
Yeah, they complete the pass behind the line of scrimmage, trying to give Dankert some time to make a move, and he was able to make the first guy miss. But as we've mentioned before, it's that second, third, fourth defender that's getting there, making the play.
70 seconds left to go in the third period. Johnson has Dankert behind him. Receiver right, receiver left. They hand it off to Dankert. Dankert, the ball carrier, and Dankert, pretty good push up front, picks up 4. It's going to be third down and 6, and this is where Midland has been so good this afternoon, converting on third downs.
Yeah, and, you wonder, hey, this is a team that likes to throw the ball. Why are they running the ball on second and 11, second 10, second 11? It's because you want to get yourself into a third down situation that's a little bit more manageable, and now they're in more of a third and medium situation.
empty the backfield. Covington is in the slot to the near side and the short side of the field. Back to pass, Johnson. Johnson, flush from the pocket.
That's a hold.
Johnson, we had a hold there, and they didn't call it. Wow.
Yeah.
We could spot it pretty well from our vantage point, and I believe that was Queering who jersey came away. He stopped short of the first down by a couple of yards. It's going to be 4th down and 3, and Midland, it appears, is going to settle for a long field goal try.
Yeah, and that's still a big play because if they call that hold, obviously we accept the penalty, back them out, and hopefully get them out of field goal range. But, now we got the team on the field, and we got the end of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter. We're at, we have 15 minutes to play. Dordt with a 17-7 lead. It appears Midland will attempt a field goal when we resume play right after this. This is Dordt football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Back with more in a minute.
Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Nutrition. Transform your health and wellness with 712 Nutrition. Stop in today for healthy, delicious protein shakes bundled with a supportive community. Start feeling your best today.
Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, and window treatments at your local Furniture Mart. They are family-owned and located in downtown Sioux Center. German Farmers Mutual, protecting the farm and home since 1891. Northwest Iowa's local insurance partner. Online at germanfarmers.com.
Dordt's program is a little bit unique in that it's entirely online, but one of the unique pieces is that for every learning module in every single class, we have a synchronous class. Students get a chance to know each other, to interact with each other, to learn from each other. That opportunity is really valued by the students that are in the program. I enjoy that. I enjoy teaching those classes and getting to know those students, but also being able to bring in different people's experiences.
A 35-yard field goal attempt is no good. That is a big play, and you and I were talking about it, Kyle. We were a little surprised that the field goal team was out there for a 35-yard try. You said, well, get it back to within 7, win by, and get a late score and win on a 2-point conversion, a la a couple of years ago. But you got to get a lot of things to go right, and you have to capitalize.
Yeah, I think they have confidence in their kicker. That's probably the biggest factor, right? They felt like they were confident he was going to put that in, and yeah, I think the key there and what Coach Jamrog is thinking is, yeah, you make it a one-score game, and now you're right back in it. But not getting it, and now it's still a 2-score game, and the Dordt offense back on the field.
Noah Strickfadden in at quarterback, and for the defenders now, boy, if you can put a drive together here, you can put yourself in a very good position. Handoff Connor Dodd, the running back, and Dodd picks up 7 yards, and you mentioned it, Kyle. Suddenly, you have to make some adjustments. Dordt's passing the ball better in the second half. What does that lead to?
Opens up the run game.
2nd down and 3, so a gain of 7 for Connor Dodd, and I believe that was Dodd's longest run of the day thus far. So the defenders leading 17-7. These have been battles through the course of the year, and they always seem to come down to just that 1 or 2 plays in the fourth period. And the defenders right now in front, 17-7, but a lot of football yet to be played. 2nd down and 3. Strickfadden is going to run option. Pitches it right side over to Fritz. Fritz up the right sideline, and we've got a flag.
They saw that holding, and it's a correct call. But you and I were talking about the previous series when Midland was on the field, and that one looked pretty obvious as well.
So it's going to come back. So take the first down off of the board. It will be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, and it appears that they're marking it from the line of scrimmage, so that's going to set up 2nd down and 13. 2nd and 13, and with it being a little more blustery outside, we don't have the windows open, so we are not necessarily hearing who was the offending party. But a 10-yard penalty on the hold. It'll be 2nd down and 13, and the clock is standing at 14:06. Should be winding, I believe.
Yep, now it's moving.
There we go. And I know Coach Penner said today is the day where if you get a lead, you might take the foot off of the gas in terms of pace of play. And we see that right now, especially with a 2-score lead. You might start to try to bleed things out. 2nd down and 13. Play clock at 5. Strickfaden. And
Yeah,
we have a
had
flag
motion.
on the play.
We had motion. Looked like right tackle.
And that's
Or
going to
right
make
guard.
it that much more challenging, right guard. That's going to set up 2nd and 18. Try to get 9 back here and get 9 on the next play, I guess.
Yeah, you just you don't want to compound your mistakes, right? We've had 2 penalties that have backed us up. You still want to end every offensive series with some type of kick, right? Whether it's a score kick or a punt. Just don't have a huge momentum swing by turning the ball over. That's always been the key, right? Get some positive yards. Punting isn't the worst thing. We've had our defense on the sideline getting rested up for a while here. So just get positive yards.
2nd down and 18 now for the defenders. They're back at their own 13-yard line. Noah Strickfaden barking signals, taking time. And Strickfaden's going to flare it out to the near side to Tommy Fritz, and the pass falls incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down and 18 with 13:19 remaining. And this one went sideways on that holding penalty, and now facing 3rd down and 18 for the defenders. Right now, you're exactly right. A punt doesn't look like such a bad thing in this situation unless you're able to get a big play here.
Right. Yeah, and I think we had room if we had completed that pass.
And that might be some of that rust you were talking about.
Yep. It's those, what we might consider the shorter, simpler passes. But, yeah, just a little bit off the mark there.
3rd down and 18. They hand it off to Connor Dodd. Dodd, the ball carrier, and Dodd following his left side of the line. Picks up 7 yards on the play. It's going to be 4th down and 12. A little bit of room for Ivan Orozco to work with, and Tyson Dankert. And you know that he is an all-conference punt returner for Midland. He's back at midfield, and he's thinking the same thing Keenan Velverty is thinking, and that is get one and change the momentum as quickly as you can.
Yeah, the importance of solid special teams play, and we've talked about how much we like seeing Velverty field punts, but the other sideline feels equally excited to see their guy have a chance.
Orozco, the line of scrimmage is the 18. He's just inside the 5, gets the snap, and gets it away. It's a pretty good kick. It'll drive Dankert back to his own 40-yard line. He's got it to the 45 and wrapped up immediately, and Isaac Kakmarinsky just does a little bit of everything, and he tackles Dankert at the 44-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain, or a 5-yard return by Tyson Dankert.
Yeah, nice job on the coverage. Really good punt. All you want to do in that situation is change the field position a little bit and not give Midland too short of a field for this offensive unit.
12:27 left to play in the game. Dordt still leading 17-7. Shaping up to be another white knuckler here between Dordt and Midland. Trevion Dawson is in for the defenders, playing cornerback. 1st down and 10. Snap back to Johnson. Johnson fakes the handoff, back to pass, looking underneath, and the pass is batted away. Nicely played that time by Colson Queering. Queering saw the tight end scraping off to the near side and knocks it away. No gain, obviously no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, nice job of targeting the ball, and I think even if it's completed, tackled at the point, it's going to be no yards gained, but yeah, doing a little better job of maybe jumping those shorter routes, but we got to stay solid because Midland's going to stretch the field eventually.
Keep an eye on 0. TJ Covington in the slot. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson looking right. He's going to throw it right. He's got a man wide open and overshoots him. Oh, my goodness. He had nobody around him. That was a blown assignment by the defenders. Tay Marks got free, but they overshot him. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, I see the official's hat on the ground over there, so I think the receiver may have ran out of bounds and come back in, so that might have been a little bit why he was open, but yeah, he was all by himself back there, just overthrown.
12:16 left to play in the 4th period. Dordt leading 17-7.
Need to get pressure up front here.
Brody Johnson, man in motion. Covington in the slot again. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson under pressure. Down he goes. That is a loss on the play, and we've got a flag as well. Flag at the 30-yard line. I'm afraid he might have. So a flag on the play. believe that was Caleb Weinberg who got to him, but a face masking penalty, and that's going to extend the drive. And that'll be marked off from the line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd down, and oh, those hurt so badly. Obviously an automatic first down as well. And Midland now with another chance. 12-11 left to play here in the contest. So Midland unable to convert on that set of downs, but they get a penalty. Dordt now 3 penalties for a total of 30 yards, all of them coming here in the 4th quarter. First down and 10 for Midland. Man in motion is Kevin Adams. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson dumps it off underneath, completed to Marks. Marks tries to hurdle the defensive player. Not sure what he was thinking. Bad things happen when you do that. It's going to be 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, he saw Velverde's highlights from last week, but that was against a punter, not a defensive player.
2nd down and 5. That could have been disastrous. As it is, 5-yard pickup on the play for Midland. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Still 17-7 defenders. Clock running. So we have seen the range of the Midland kicker as well, Peyton Alexander. They're on the outer edge of that right now. They're not within his range at this point. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson has a man open, and the pass is incomplete. And Dordt that time helped defense, Trevion Dawson. And on the coverage along with Cole Johnson. And it'll be 3rd down now and 5 for Midland, and they're just simply taking a shot down the field. They feel pretty good about their 3rd down and 5 chance.
Exactly. This is where, you want to be solid. You want to make sure we have our deeper routes covered, but it's going to be really important for our linebackers to maybe jump some underneath routes, because the reality is Midland's thinking, hey, we got to pick up a first down here, so they might look to do one of their underneath routes.
3rd down and 5. Motion out of the backfield is Dankert. They'll look right to Dankert. Dankert, and the pass is incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 5, and they're going to go for it. I can't imagine a scenario in which they don't go for it here with 11:02 remaining. So Dordt gets a stop on 3rd down. Now they got to do it again here on 4th down. So Dankert, in that time, one of the rare times Brody Johnson hasn't delivered the pass on the money, especially on that short pass.
Yeah, and we saw it on the flip side with Strickfaden trying to get it out to a back in our previous series. Sometimes even those shorter routes, you kind of take them for granted, and sometimes a quarterback isn't 100% crisp on those short throws.
And we are going to have a timeout on the field. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in a minute.
Hey Defender Nation, my name is Darren Kaiser and I'm excited to serve as the new athletic director at Dordt University. Thank you for tuning in to the Dordt Media Network and supporting Defender Athletics. As an athletic department, we are committed to the Defender way. This means we are committed to the Great Commission, developing servant leaders, the academic development of our student athletes, and the pursuit of championships. I'm eager to join with you in supporting our athletes this year. Thank you for watching Defender Athletics on the Dordt Media Network. Go Defenders!
Hey Defender Nation, did you know that Dordt Athletics has over 700 student athletes that make up less than 50% of the student body? We want to invite you to join the Defender Gold Club and support those student athletes, our staff, and coaches this season. Your charitable donation helps advance Defender Athletics and the Defender way. Last year, we were just shy of 900 members in the Defender Gold Club. Help us reach that 1,000-member mark this year. By becoming a member, you will directly support the student athletes and coaches here at Dordt University. Thanks for watching. Go Defenders.
4th down and 5. I wouldn't call it the ball game, but a critical juncture if nothing else. 4th down and 5 at the 35-yard line. Johnson back to pass. Johnson under pressure. Johnson throwing to the sideline, and it is caught. And they're going to rule him in. They're going to say he was in bounds, Kyle.
There's no way. There is no way. All right.
They're going to call him in.
What do we have for replay here from the Dordt Media Network?
Now, my question would be, does Dordt use a timeout to get a look at it on their iPads as well? Yeah, he might have gotten that right foot in. Might have. Inconclusive from my point of view. Ruled complete. First down and goal to go for Midland. Pass over the middle, into the end zone, touch, and incomplete.
Dordt had an opportunity for the interception after the tip ball, but we're not able to make the play.
So, second down and goal to go now at the 7. Midland, they have a knack for making plays against Dordt. When it comes right down to crunch time, they seem to always be able to put pressure on. Second down, goal to go at the 7 after that pass was tipped into the air. So 2nd and 7. Brody Johnson again trying to engineer a scoring drive to get his team back to within 1 score. Pass into the end zone, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. The field does get condensed at this point, doesn't it?
It's much harder to find wide open receivers.
We're going to see that replay once again.
He's in the air.
Yeah, he got, if he was.
Catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got it in. That's a heck of a catch.
Good for him. 3rd down and goal to go. So we were reviewing that long pass play, and we are critical of the officials when they get it wrong. We appreciate the fact they got that one right. 3rd down and goal to go at the 7. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson looking into the end zone and incomplete, overshot him. There are a lot of bodies down there to try and find somebody who's open. It's going to be 4th down.
Yep, and they're going to put
kick.
the field goal team on the field.
Yeah, you don't waste any more time. Get the points, and then try to get a defensive stop.
Going to be really nice right now, Mike. It's a blocked field goal.
A blocked field goal. We've gotten close. So on is Peyton Alexander to attempt the field goal. He missed one earlier from about 10 yards further out. This is a 27-yarder, and that one hits the upright and comes back in. No good. Wow. Dodging bullets. 4th down and goal to go inside the 1. Get a stop. Couple of field goals that miss. This is a completely different looking game.
Yep, and great job by our defense of
bend but don't break.
Yep, being tough down here. Now we should get the ball out at the 20, I believe, after that missed field goal.
Correct. So hit the upright, and the defenders now with it. 1st down and 10 at their own 20. 10:24 remaining.
Be nice to get a nice time-consuming drive here. Get some first downs.
We were close to having that on the last drive, and then that holding penalty. Had a 1st down, and then we started going the wrong way. Strickfaden turns, fakes the handoff. He's going to pitch it right side to McCoy. McCoy, the ball carrier. McCoy up the sideline, and McCoy picks up 6-7 yards. Where do they stop? At the 28-yard line. So an 8-yard pickup on the play after it looked like it wasn't going to be a big gainer. McCoy picks up 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, nice job of staying in bounds.
Yeah, they marked him about way earlier.
Okay.
I was watching the far judge, and he was all the way up at the 28-yard line. I should have been watching the near side. So a gain of 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 8. There I am being optimistic again. 2nd and 8, 9:45 left to go in the game. Dordt with 2 timeouts remaining. Midland with 3. Dordt by 2 scores. Midland has missed a couple of field goals here in the second half. Dordt has 10 points on the board in the second half. Strickfaden, 7 seconds to get the play off. Now 5. Gets the snap. Turns, hands, gives to McCoy. McCoy, the ball carrier, and just that close to breaking it, it feels like.
Yeah,
the hole was there, and it closed up. He picks up 5 on the play. Now we have a flag.
I think got a little extracurricular after the play. Hopefully this is not one of those cop-outs pointing both directions.
So we'll get the officials to confer. Right now it stands 3rd and 3 on the carry by McCoy. Yards on the ground have been tough to come by today. This one's going to be against Midland, it appears. So Dordt will now get 15 free yards. And for Midland so far, that is their 3rd penalty for 25 yards.
Yeah, and they've played really a clean football game, but that one really hurts. Not only is it a field position 15-yarder, but automatic first down and keep this drive alive. Dordt's able to burn a lot more clock now.
3 more downs, and it becomes a factor now because Midland trails by those 2 scores. If it's a 1-score game, it feels completely different. 1st down and 10 for the defenders at their own 43-yard line. They break their huddle with 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. You've got Williams in the slot. Connor Dodd, your running back, fake the handoff, and a floater, and it's...
Nope, not caught.
Pass is incomplete. Noah Strickfaden floats one into the air, and nearly coming up with it is Samias Pickett.
We dodged a bullet there, Mike.
I don't know.
Going back to finish every drive with a kick, maintain possession, just don't give them any momentum. Turnover would do that at this point, so dodged a bullet.
8:44 left to play. You're just trying to get to the end now.
Yeah.
And you got to keep playing. You got to keep executing. The temptation is to just try and play not to win, and we see oftentimes how that works out. Fake the handoff. Strickfaden keeps it himself, and Strickfaden, no gain on the play, but we have a flag.
Is this going to be a hold? But I don't know how that could be a hold. It was an option play. Kind of threw it right at the dive back. Did we get a little, no, they're calling holding. I didn't see it there, Mike, but.
Well, it's going to be either take the play and 3rd down and long, or mark off the yards, and Dordt will have another down to get back 20.
Okay.
Explain.
I think, okay, we faked the dive, and inside there, they saw the dive back go low. Or no, actually the defensive player making the tackle low, which could have looked like a low block by the defense. Defense can get called for blocking below the waist as well. And I think it was just the defensive player not knowing that the ball was pulled, made the tackle on the running back on the dive play.
3rd down and 9 for the defenders now at their own 40-yard line. They need the Midland 48 for a first down on a day where offense has been hard to come by. Connor Dodd still on his feet, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. So it's 4th down and 3. Dordt has the football at their own 49-yard line, and they're going to punt. Punting is winning in this situation.
Absolutely.
Lead by 2 scores, no matter what the temptation is, and now we get the quick change.
Now the official's going to stand over the ball because of the substitution, so it will allow Midland to get their defense back on the field.
Use a timeout.
Now they took a timeout. I didn't think they'd need to, but I could be wrong.
Chess match.
Well, if you get them to burn a timeout in a game like this, that's a big play.
4th down and 3 when we resume play. Dordt with the football at their own 49. 7:41 left to go in regulation. This time out brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
Dordt's program is a little bit unique in that it's entirely online, but one of the unique pieces is that for every learning module in every single class, we have a synchronous class. Students get a chance to know each other, to interact with each other, to learn from each other. That opportunity is really valued by the students that are in the program. I enjoy that. I enjoy teaching those classes and getting to know those students, but also being able to bring in different people's experiences.
Well, the cat and mouse game continues.
And the punt team's on.
And it will be the punter, Ivan Orozco, and as tempting as it is, because you feel like, man, you just get 3 yards, you're going to take a big step towards winning the game. The smarter play here is to probably punt the football.
Yeah, you don't want to give this Midland team any momentum, right? So at least force them to drive the length of the field to make it a 1-score game.
7:41 left to play in the contest. Dordt still leading 17-7. And Ivan Orozco is punting. Snap fielded by Orozco, and he averts disaster by catching it over his head. Dankert gets the line drive kick, returns it to the 31, and Ivan Orozco might deserve a game ball by the time this one's all said and done, because that ball was headed for the goal line over his head.
Yeah, nice job of getting up and fielding that and getting the ball off. Really had time. It looked like Midland was trying to set up a return for their dangerous returner. When you have a snap like that, you're thinking, I got to get this off quick. Probably had enough time to settle himself, get a little bit of better punt, but at least he averted disaster there.
Ends up being a 20-yard swing in field position. Back to pass is Brody Johnson. Johnson's going to look to the sideline, and the pass is complete. He stays in bounds and circles back and maybe gets the first down on the second effort. He had the first down, then went behind the sticks again to try and get another run at it. They're going to actually mark him shy of the first down by a yard. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. It really doesn't change a whole lot for Midland. Right now they need points. First downs don't mean a lot. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Johnson. Under 7 minutes to go. Dordt leading by 10. Dankert out of the backfield. Instead, they dump it underneath, and the pass is complete underneath to Tim Brown. Brown goes to his knees to make the catch at midfield. It's 1st down and 10 for Midland at the 50.
Yeah, and we got to get some pressure on Johnson. He's feeling pretty comfortable just sitting in the pocket and delivering the ball downfield. And this is where you hope your depth in the defensive line, get some fresh legs out there, can create some pressure.
6.5 left to go in the game. Midland back to pass is Johnson. Johnson looking right, dumps it off underneath to Dankert. Dankert runs through an arm tackle, still on his feet, picks up 13 yards on the play, and a first down to the Dordt 37-yard line. 6:14 remaining in the game.
Yeah, you just don't want to give up a big play, but you got to make a stop at some point here.
1st down and 10 for the Warriors at their own at the Dordt 39-yard line. 3 down linemen for the defenders. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson looking right, flushed from the pocket, still being chased, and he's going to throw it up for grabs and incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and they're trying to go after Trevion Dawson, I believe. They've recognized the last couple of pass plays have been to his side of the field. He's listed as a backup cornerback. And 2nd down and 10 now. Dordt almost had Johnson again, forced him to throw on the run, and that may have contributed to him overshooting his intended receiver.
Yeah, decent coverage on the hip. Now we know these receivers can make those kind of plays, so you got to have good, solid coverage in the secondary.
5:49 left to play in the game. Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson to the far sideline, steps out of bounds. Trey Marks. Marks stops the clock on the complete pass. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. So 3rd down and 4. So a gain of 6 on the play. Midland obviously in 4-down territory here, trailing by a couple of scores. Clock resumes.
Yeah, we want to keep that clock moving. Yep. This is the time when you have a lead that you like the new clock rules, and with the guy being out of bounds, clock keeps moving.
3rd down and 4. Johnson back to pass. Johnson pass over the middle, finds the seam, and
Ball's
it's completed
loose
to Kevin Adams, and the ball is on the ground. Dordt recover it. Dordt recovers it. The Dordt defenders get the ball loose from Kevin Adams, and I believe that was Zach Queering who forced the fumble.
Was it Queering or
He was back there. Here's our replay, but the Dordt defenders will get the football back, and they dodge yet another bullet. That is Trevion Dawson, who they were picking on earlier, going after him. And it's Thomas McCullough who gets on top of it inside the 5-yard line. And the Dordt defenders force another turnover. And with 17-7 our score, Dordt has it. And 5:12 left to go in the game. Some timely turnovers by for the defenders here this afternoon. So credit Dawson with
the forced fumble. Nice
forcing
job of
a fumble.
stripping the ball out there. I didn't mean to do that, Mike. Knocked over my stool.
Oh, see here, I thought the coaching staff next to us was fired up.
No, that was me.
Okay. Well, we've got a timeout on the field as well. So it'll be Dordt football. First down and 10. And is there a review potentially?
They are. I believe they're reviewing the play. Probably, really the only, they could be at.
Give us, if you have that replay again, Tyler Vandermolen. We called in the heavy hitters this weekend to direct in the truck. We're a little short-staffed, and Tyler kind enough to help us out. Here's the play. Yeah, he had it, and it was knocked loose.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a situation where the receiver was down. That was the other thing I was
it's just
wondering.
a matter of possession, the way it looks to me, if they're looking at it. Now, here's the thing that you've got to remember.
It looked like he took about 2 or 3 steps with the ball there, Mike, and it has to be overwhelming. It has to be definitive, right? And I don't know where they can come up with I don't see where they can change that call.
And remember, we are watching something that they are not.
Right.
We have the camera down in the north end zone. The camera that you have the view of is the south end zone and the 50-yard line. I'm not sure they're going to see anything that's going to be able to overturn this, but they're taking their time. Yep, they're over in the tent. They also had to walk all the way across the field to the south end zone. So while they sort that out, let's take a look at some scores from the conference. We told you about some late starts today. Dordt trying to stay unbeaten in conference play and overall. Here on the 25th day of October, Morningside leads Concordia near the end of the third period, 45-14. Doane and Briar Cliff, 14 all. Dakota Wesleyan, 27-7 over Waldorf. And Hastings and Mount Marty are just underway. And I guess we're finding out maybe Concordia is a little beat up. Morningside with a substantial lead there. I'm also, in that Doane-Briar Cliff game, Briar Cliff has been reeling. And Doane, they have a win over Midland to their credit.
Right.
So they are not a bad team. And like I watched them earlier this year, made the road trip down to Crete. If you had told me that they would be sitting here with one win, I would have said that's probably not the case. So that's an interesting matchup there. I'm really curious to see Hastings and Mount Marty, how that one shakes out in Yankton this afternoon as well.
Yeah, as we go on the road next week, have a little better idea of what we're going to be seeing.
Yeah. Hastings put up a bunch of points against Morningside earlier this year. That was the one that kind of got everyone's attention as well.
And then their win over Northwestern.
Yep. So didn't do it with their offense that day, though. Now we're going to get the call from our official, and he's going to tell us what he thinks.
Upheld.
Ruling on the field is upheld.
I believe they got that one right. We had a much better angle.
Yeah, we had the benefit of that camera down in the south end zone, and that has given us some pretty nice looks at some plays down on that end. Now, if you're Dordt, do not return the favor.
Exactly. We're backed up here. This is always tough for an offense. You know, you got to get it out from underneath the goalpost. Feels like it's looming right behind you. So we need some positive yards here on first down.
10-point lead for the defenders. Snap to Strickfadden. Strickfadden to Fritz. Fritz to the to the edge, and he's out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
A little breathing room.
Picks up 6 or 7 on the play. It'll be second down and 4, it appears. Coming up later this afternoon, we've got Great Plains Athletic Conference volleyball at the DeWitt Gym. Varsity start time of 5 o'clock, Dordt versus Waldorf, and the volleyball team still with a lot in front of them. Concordia men's soccer defeated Dordt earlier this afternoon 2-0, so that one is in the books. The women's game will get started here shortly, and that's going to be a great match between two pretty good teams. Second down and 4 for the defenders at their own 10-yard line. They turn, hand, and give it. This is Velverty.
Keeping the legs moving.
So Keenan Velverty with the carry. Joel Akers helping pick him up off of the ground. Also leading the block for the defenders, that was Ethan Hoyer. Hoyer with a pretty good push up front, left guard. And now the defenders playing with a 10-point lead and 4 minutes remaining. They can take this one under 4 minutes before they snap the football. And now the odds not in Midland's favor.
Right, yeah. Now the clock is working against them, and every first down on this offensive series is a win for the defenders.
Looker in motion. Strickfadden turns, hands, and short gain on the play for Fritz. It's going to be second down and 8, and right now you're just more concerned with bleeding out the clock. The defenders will be able to take this one down to about 3 minutes. Midland has 2 timeouts, I beg your pardon, 1 timeout remaining. They use that timeout on the challenge.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So
they're down to 1, so
That's
really
huge.
challenging here. You pick up a first down here, and the math begins to become a real challenge.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if I saw the ball in the air on this series. The worst thing is just, hey, burn clock. It's not all bad to punt now.
2-score lead for the defenders. They hand it off. Velverty, nothing there. Driven down at the 20-yard line. Short gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd down, and the defenders will take this one down to about the 2:10 mark when they snap it. So you're leading 17 to 7. The defender defense pitching a shutout here in the second half, and it has been a bend but don't break here in the second half for the defenders.
Yeah, coming up with some big plays, causing turnovers, tightening things up once Midland has been in the red zone. Just a great job by our defense.
3rd down and 7. Dordt needs the 27-yard line for a first down. And Dordt will use a timeout. So this timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in a minute. To Piper. Piper up the middle. Piper still on his feet. Touchdown defender. Cade Rohr to the goal line. Touchdown defenders.
In the Dome, we have a space available for 2 full-size softball fields. However, this space is also utilized by the football, baseball, and soccer teams, as well as for other various athletic events. Another great thing about the American State Bank Sports Complex is that it's not just for Dordt athletes, it's for the entire community. Whether that's high school soccer leagues, open turf time, or even a space for intramurals. Hope you stop by soon.
Third down and 7 for the defenders, leading by 2 scores. 2:18 left to play in the game. You've got the 2-minute warning, the 2-minute timeout coming up here. Noah Strickfadden, quarterback. Strickfadden turns and pulls it, and it's down on the ground. A turnover, and the Midland Warriors force a turnover. And what were we saying? A punt would be okay in that situation, and now Midland will get the football back with 1 timeout remaining in Dordt territory at the 21-yard line, and just about the time you start to feel comfortable. This is what gives coaches gray hair.
Exactly, or causes them to lose their hair.
Is there a case study here?
I'm afflicted with that one, but yeah, you don't want to give them that short field now. Going to be really important for the defense to stiffen up here and not allow a quick score.
Right.
If Midland does end up putting the points on the board, you want them to use a little clock, right? But they were able to get the ball on that turnover ahead of the 2-minute warning, so it essentially gives their offense an additional timeout.
Brody Johnson back to pass. Johnson pass over the middle is incomplete. Looked like he was looking for TJ Covington. Covington was headed to the middle of the field, and that one thrown behind him. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. So the clock stops on the incomplete pass. 2:08 remaining. This is likely the last play before the 2-minute timeout. Empty the backfield. Johnson looking for Covington. Slot near side. Back to pass. Johnson looking right. Throws over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Broken up, and Colson querying there to make sure the intended receiver doesn't catch the deflected pass. And we'll run one more play before the 2-minute timeout. So Midland not taking much time here, and 3rd down and 10 at the Dordt 21. 3 receivers set to the right, 2 to the left, same formation. Tim Brown is in the slot to the near on the far side. Johnson Back to pass. Dordt sends 3. Throws to the end zone. And the pass is batted away.
Pass interference, I believe, is going to be the call.
So they're going to throw a flag in the end zone. Pass interference, the call against the defenders. And
ball snapped at the 22. Where's the spot here? And we're going to have the 2-minute timeout.
Should be at the 7. I'm sorry. Well, we'll see. We'll let the officials sort it out. It's also the 2-minute warning. We'll know where the ball is spotted when we resume play right after this. This is Dordt football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Back with more in a minute.
Hi, this is Alex with Outdoor Elements. We've been the region's premier landscape company for over 15 years. With our own in-house landscape designer, we create extraordinary outdoor spaces where you will make memories with family and friends. We do all types of landscaping and we're the region's only certified pool professionals. We specialize in saltwater pools, which are easy to maintain and gentle on your skin. Check out our website at OutdoorElementsInc.com. We make your landscape as beautiful as your home. When you want the best, contact us at 712-476-5299 or email us at info@OutdoorElementsInc.com.
First down and goal to go for the for the Warriors at the Dordt 6, 1:59 remaining. Look over the middle, pass into the end zone, touchdown Midland, and Midland cashes in on the turnover by the defenders. And we've got a game. Dordt leading 17-13, 1:55 remaining. And it'll be Midland on the point after try, the all-important point after try, with his team trailing 17-13 pending the point after. So Peyton Alexander is on to attempt the point after try. He's missed a couple of field goals. And the snap is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And it's a 3-point difference. Midland will be kicking off when we resume play. Right after this, you're listening to Dordt Football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Back with more in 30 seconds.
I think we should see an onset.
Well, Midland cashes in after Dordt turns it over, so it's 17-14, and we are not done yet. The defenders surrendering the turnover, a 3-play, 21-yard drive, capped by a touchdown. Johnson to Tay Marks for 6 yards, and we stand 17-14, and Dordt fully anticipating a short kickoff. Now, will it be a onside kick, or will he try to find something about 20 yards downfield?
Yeah, it looks like he's lined up for the onside kick. Midland has their 6 coverage guys here inside the hash, so field it clean, get down on the ground.
So the onside kick with 1:55 remaining. Dordt will anticipate this, and it is a high.
They're offsides.
Skip.
That's right. We recovered. Take
Dordt
the ball.
recovers it. It'll be Dordt football. They'll decline the penalty unless they whistled it dead.
Oh, nuts. That gives this kicker another shot at it.
Now that was recovered. Now you got the hands team, and so that was Ethan Van Ginkel. Second year fielding that cleanly, number 88.
You just don't want to give kickers second chances, right?
No, I mean, it's another opportunity. So they threw the flag, and we'll do it again. And doing the kicking for Midland, this is not their regular kicker. This is Cameron Spicer, called on for this specific situation. Ball must make it to the 45-yard line.
I think they're offsides.
Takes a high bounce, and it is still on the ground, and it is covered by the defenders.
Wow, they had an opportunity there.
Oh, boy. Midland
golden
player.
Opportunity for Midland.
That ball, that was almost perfect, where it took the second bounce and went high into the air.
And what did they say about giving kickers a second chance? Now, I think there's 1:55 when they kicked off. The ball bounced around a little bit there. Where's our home clock advantage?
So 1:55 remaining. 17-14 defenders. It'll be first down and 10 for the defenders at their own 38-yard line.
Well, in this Midland defense, they're going to be stripping at the ball, so we need 2 hands on it every carry. Just got to make sure you keep possession of the ball.
One first down does it.
One first down ends it. Midland's obviously going to use their one timeout sometime here.
Handoff. Give it up. This is McCoy. McCoy's busted play. Midfield, 50, 40, 35, 30,
Stay in
25.
bounds,
And he is forced out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And the Dordt defenders able to get a first down with 1:43 remaining. You wanted him to stay in bounds. That keeps the clock running and forces Midland to potentially use a timeout. Instead, there's 1:43 remaining. There is 25 on the play clock. The game clock will not start until it's snapped again. And the Dordt coaching staff doing their quick computing.
Yeah.
Can you run out the clock at this point?
I think you have to run plays in order to, even if you don't pick up a first down, I think you still have to run plays to, get that extra time off the clock while you're running the play. I think if you kneel it down, you do have the chance of turning it back over on downs.
So McCoy gets the carry, a short gain on the play, and there's 1:38 left, and now Midland has used their last timeout. Dordt has the football in Midland territory inside the 20 at the 17. 17-14, Dordt leading. Let's take a 30-second break. This time out brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds.
Each year, more students find their place at Dordt University. Through top-ranked academics and athletics, Dordt continues to flourish and grow. But what defines Dordt goes far beyond national recognition. It's an unwavering commitment to prepare graduates to serve in a changing world. But that mission doesn't end at graduation. It continues through the work and leadership of our graduates until all is made new.
I'm going to ask a question. Do you sometimes convince yourself that it's going to be a close game, and then it becomes that?
Well, yeah, you're right on there. You're just waiting for that
shoot or drop,
that weird play that goes the wrong way, and obviously we had that on our turnover.
Second down and 8, handoff to McCoy. McCoy the ball carrier, and McCoy wrapping it up. He's inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. 90 seconds left. Dordt.
I think we run it all the way down and probably use our last second timeout.
Yeah, so there's
our last. We only have one left.
Get about 50. You can get it down to about between 55 and 50 here on third down. And then you're faced with, you can run another 40. So 10 seconds remaining. I don't know if Dordt intends to run this play or not. It is third down and 6 at the 15. They snap it. They give it off. And this is Fritz. Fritz tripped up at the 12-yard line. There's 48 seconds remaining, so a 10-second difference between the game clock and the play clock.
Now you run it down and use timeout, and I don't think you risk a field goal attempt.
Too many bad things can happen.
Too many bad things can happen.
You try to get the first down.
I think you try to get a first down and probably run a play that maybe stretches the field a little bit.
Because you're going to have, it's going to be about 10 seconds. Dort's going to run it here. They aren't going to use the timeout, it appears. 4th down. They hand it off to McCoy, and we have
Penner took a timeout.
Play being whistled dead. So Joel took the timeout. And with 9 seconds remaining, Dordt facing 4th down and 4 with a 17-14 lead in Midland territory. At this point, I'll tell you, we're not going to take a break. I'm going to tell you this timeout is brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. At this point, are you thinking, what are the things that could go wrong? I mean, you
avoid those, left? Right? Yeah, you just think, well, and they put a couple seconds on the clock. We got it to 11 now, but yeah, I know it's real tempting. You got a great kicker and you've been solid, but do you risk a block?
I mean,
what
are the ways you can lose at this point?
Yep. A bad turnover that ends up being a big play for the defense. A block kick, again, going the wrong direction. I guess I'd be really tempted to run something wide here, kind of extend the play.
Get it down to about 6 seconds.
Yeah, and if you give them the ball, but they have to go 90-some or, potentially over 90 yards for a game-winning touchdown because it's going to be a one-play deal, right? Because they're out of timeouts. Yeah, that would be my philosophy, and it looks like that's what Coach Penner's thinking. He has the offense on the field. Try to pick up this first down. Obviously, if you get the first down, game is over.
Well, maybe somebody jumps offside. Midland has stayed pretty disciplined so far today. Strickfadden turns, hands it McCoy. McCoy, the ball carrier. McCoy, I think he got it. It is really close. There's 7 seconds remaining. And
I'd like to see a measurement here.
They're not going to do that. We don't do that anymore. So 7 seconds remaining. Dordt will turn it over on downs. I thought Preston McCoy had the first down. The officials do not agree with me. And so it will be Midland football trailing by 3 with 7 seconds remaining. And now it's going to be pass completion possibly and a bunch of laterals. So Dordt's got to stay disciplined and finish this off and get out of here. 17-14, defenders leading.
Yeah, and you should have 8 defenders quite a ways downfield to just keep the play in front of them.
Back to pass is Johnson. Johnson, pass is complete. And they lateral. And up the sideline, and nothing there. That's going to be the ball game. Clock hits zeros. Game is over. Dordt hangs on to win it, 17-14. It did not come without its tense moments, but the Dordt defenders stay perfect in league play, 6-0 now, and they remain in first place in Great Plains Athletic Conference action. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with a Wireless World postgame show right after this 2-minute timeout.
Dordt is a place where students flourish.
What stands out about Dordt's mission is how they prepare us as students to face a world that is in need of the Word of God.
We are seeking to embody discipleship. What does it mean to faithfully follow Jesus?
A hard-earned victory today for the Dordt defenders as they stay perfect in Great Plains Athletic Conference play. 17-14 the final. And the Dordt defenders, a lot of facets of the game. You look at the statistics, Kyle, and we'll do that in just a little bit, but a lot of those in favor of Midland. But some critical things, turnovers in particular, and that ends up leading to a Dordt 17-14 win. Recapping the scoring, Thomas Fritz, a 8-yard touchdown run, capping a 10-play, 49-yard drive, and the defenders led 7-0 midway through the first quarter. Midland then tied it with 5:23 left to go in the half on a Bradley Johnson to T.J. Covington pass for 43 yards. 7-7 the score. Dordt went 6 plays, 51 yards, unlocked the tie with a 10-7 with Stephen Leinen. Converting a 22-yard field goal. Preston McCoy then ran for a 2-yard touchdown run in the third period, capping an 8-play, 72-yard drive to make it 17-7. Midland took advantage of a Dordt turnover deep in their own territory late in the game, got to within 17-14, but the defenders to recover an onside kick, get the football deep into Midland territory, and they end up securing a 17-14 win as Midland's last play runs out the clock as our Hague Health Center highlights are being run. And Kyle, I guess before we get into the numbers, your thoughts in terms of how this team managed to win a 17-14 game.
Yeah, you got to credit the defense. Yeah, gave up a ton of passing yards, right, but caused four turnovers.
They had 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
So,
and that's key, right? And you can say, that's on the offense, but I prefer to think that the defense caused those and did it at opportune times to give the offense back the ball and secure the win. But you're going to have games like this. We didn't play our best, I don't think. We didn't play our cleanest.
Not sharp, no. There were times we weren't sharp.
Yeah, and when you do that and partially you give credit for Midland, that it's credit them for maybe not allowing us to play clean. But yeah, when you do it against a quality opponent, it's going to stay tight. You just want to come out of this one with a win.
Brody Johnson for Midland, and I don't know that we spoke highly enough of him through the course of the game, but he was as good as advertised.
Yeah.
I think he may be, at this point, as good a quarterback as we have seen this season.
Absolutely, yeah. And, Coach Penner mentioned it in pregame that, when he's on, and he is really, really good, and he was really, really good today.
They probably deserved better than a 17-14 loss as you take a look at the numbers. 34-49 passing, 376 yards. This game could have looked completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. If Midland capitalizes on some of their opportunities, now that affects how our offenses run and how we react to that. Because it's the overall game plan and strategy of it. But you're right. If they take advantage of some of their big plays and some of their drives that kind of stalled out in the red zone, this is a totally different ball game.
For the game, Dordt 47 rushes for 201 yards. They also completed 8 of 13 passes for 132 yards, just enough to keep the team Midland honest. Brody Johnson, 376 yards passing, rushing. Pretty tough day for Midland rushing. 16 carries, 23 yards total. Dordt is outgained, though, all total, 399 to 333. I said 4 turnovers. There were actually 3 by Midland. They had 2 fumbles and an interception. Individually for Dordt, Colson Cruz, 4 of 6 passing, 30 yards. Noah Strickfadden, 4 of 7 passing, 102 yards. Tommy Fritz, 13 carries for 59 yards. Preston McCoy, 14 carries for 86 yards. He ended up getting that long run at the end for 44 yards. Other than that, though, Midland did a pretty good job of containing the Dordt rushing attack. Rhett Williams, 5 catches for 90 yards. Jacob Van Dong, 3 catches for 42 yards. And defensively, Dordt was led by Zach Quiring. Josh Henderson had 10 tackles. Zach Quiring had 4 tackles. He had the stuff on the goal line as well, and he had a tackle for a loss. And the defenders, and overall, sometimes you've just got to win these games.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not all going to be masterpieces.
Exactly. Just do what you need to do to come out with a win, and I would say that's a perfect way to describe this. We did just enough to get the win. Like we mentioned, not our best outing, but I know our coaches will put this one to rest, put this one to bed, and they'll be thinking about next week in a hurry.
Any final thoughts before I turn you loose and we take one last break?
Well, just a reminder, undefeated, leading the conference with 3 to play. That's a nice spot to be in right now.
It's a lot better than trying to make up ground. You control your own destiny, and there's a lot of there's some good teams coming up yet. So it'll be a fun last 3 weeks of the season. Kyle, as always, thank you. Appreciate the comments and working with you tremendously. We'll give you next week off and see you with Concordia in a couple of weeks.
We'll see.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Well, we will see what happens. Otherwise, we will muddle along by myself. But some people are unhappy when that happens. They want you. I get notes all the time. We want more Kyle. So.
Well, I don't know about that, but we'll see what life brings.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Happening.
That's Kyle Achterhoff, and we're going to take one more break here on the Wireless World postgame show. We'll be back with our State Farm Insurance Player of the Game right after this 1-minute timeout. Well, this was not an easy decision because nothing jumps off of the page at you in terms of, the State Farm Player of the Game. Some considerations. You had Tommy Fritz, 13 carries, 59 yards, a rushing touchdown. You had Preston McCoy, 14 carries, 86 yards. Noah Strickfadden, 4 of 7 passing, 102 yards. Engineers, a couple of scoring drives. Rhett Williams, 5 catches for 90 yards. All of those catch your attention. You look at Colson Quiring, 10 total tackles, 6 solo. You had an interception by Nathan Feldman. But I keep coming back to that series of downs that ended at the Dordt goal line with Midland turning it over on downs with the score 7-0, and it was Zach Quiring who caught Dankert in the backfield, threw him for a loss, and it kind of settled into a defensive slugfest from there on out. So for his play today, Zach Queering is your player of the game. Today's player of the game brought to you by Ross Hookstra with State Farm, serving Sioux County and the tri-state area. Call Ross, 712-722-0806 for all your insurance needs, or stop by the Sioux Center office next to Dairy Queen. State Farm player of the game is Zach Queering. So we take a look at the conference scores from today, and we are getting down to it now. Just 3 weeks remaining in the regular season, and the Defenders undefeated at 7-0 now. They were 6-0 entering play, so 7-0 at the moment. Forgot to factor in that win from last week. And Dordt getting the win today over Midland, 17-14. Other GPAC scores, Morningside is going to win. They're up 59-21 late. So that's going to drop Concordia to 5-2. And Morningside will improve to 6-1 in the league. Also in GPAC play, Dakota Wesleyan's going to earn their second win of the conference season. They're going to go to 2-5. Waldorf is going to stay winless. They're 0-8. Doane and Briar Cliff are underway. And in the fourth quarter, Briar Cliff clinging to a 28-21 lead. They've still got a little bit to go in that one. And in Yankton, Hastings 3, Mount Marty 0. That's late in the second quarter. That one kicked off at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So the Defenders are in first, 7-0 with 3 games remaining. Morningside 6-1, Concordia 5-2, Midland 4-3. Everybody else has at least 3 losses. Northwestern was idle today. They also have 3 losses. So that's going to do it for our broadcast today. This has been a production done in partnership with the Dordt Media Network, Sioux County Radio, and the Dordt Athletic Communication Office. Dordt Media Network is under the direction of Rich Lodewijk. Staff is primarily made up of student employees. Broadcast engineer at Sioux County Radio today was Nathan Brook. Dordt Media Network broadcast operators today, Tyler Vandermolen, Lynn Marie Termolen, Parker Freeman, Aiden Eekhoff, and Marcus Seifert. Dordt Athletic Communications staff is Matt Boss and Isabel Pfeiffer. Color commentary today provided by Kyle Achterhoff. It's going to do it. Our final score once again, Dordt 17, Midland 14. Great Plains Athletic Conference football action. For all of those folks, I'm Mike Biker.